Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Before you start packing your bags and running away, I've got a special guest for you. He's coming in. And by special, I mean the same guest you have every day. What happened? He's just doing his stuff. How are we doing, everyone? No, it's not just Ali's show. Everyone is running a little bit late, but I thought you've been waiting so long, staring at that screen, so we may as well go live. Hey, what's up, Ali? Very good. Holsworthy live. Yeah, retro. This pod's going to mostly be about the U.S. election, heads up. So don't send us any questions for the pre-show about that, because that's what most of this pod is going to be. And we have the final member of the squad here as well.
Down you get.
On his bicycle.
Right into the action.
And the same shirt he's been wearing for three pods in a row.
Sit down. We've got to discuss this.
What is it?
Discuss it on the main pod.
Are you broke?
No. This is main channel content.
Okay.
We have to talk about this.
You're in front of the camera.
Look how much shit my pants are already. I just put something in my pocket. So annoying.
What are you doing? What did you drop?
What?
Why do you,
my friend?
Why do you have that where you normally keep it?
He's overstimulated. Breathe. Hello, everybody. Why didn't you wait for me, huh?
Why didn't you wait?
We did.
We did.
We waited 3 minutes. That's how important you are to this pod, miss, and this enterprise. How does that feel?
Replaceable. Hello.
That was great.
How are we doing?
3 minutes
Miss,
in, we
can you
thought, well,
actually
he's
hand me that
obviously
bag?
dead. We're going to have to
I'm going to keep it here for weight stability.
What? Yeah, sure. What did you say?
Well, he's clearly dead. The show must go on.
It's really good to know that I'm so replaceable that it's like 3 minutes in, you know? Oh, far out. No, I was running late, obviously. How's everyone
Jordan,
going?
here's the first question. Let's start with the red hot one.
Fuck, I should change
Thoughts
that.
on Israeli lobby influencing Queensland election to stop Greens from winning the seat? Is that a proven
That
thing?
sounds like a very greensy conspiracy, doesn't it?
Is it a Greensy conspiracy, or is it just that, look, they're not that desperate.
Yeah, they're not that desperate. And if they are, can I just say, Israel Lovey, you're a real mensch.
That one moment when our interests combine together.
I'll tell you what lost the Greens those seats. The fact that the LNP decided to preference Labor higher. The only reason the Greens ever win a seat is if the LNP make Labor lose a seat.
LMP.
There, but for the grace
Libs.
of God goes they.
That's the Libs, right?
Huh?
LMP? Is that the
Oh
Libs?
God, he's done it.
It is?
7
guessing.
years
I'm just
into
guessing.
the pod, he finally knows what LNP
I don't
stands
know.
for.
I asked
It's not
you.
Bella
I
Brad,
don't
Chief
know.
No, we're going to
No, I
save this
asked you.
victory
No,
for what
no,
it is.
I asked
Thank you
you.
so much,
I
Miss.
was trying to
this
clarify.
This is such a great day for
really,
Miss.
that's
Not
what
only
was
is
happening.
he not dead,
It wasn't a case of that.
please don't take this moment away from me, Miss. I really need it. I need it.
All right, you can take it. You can take it.
There has to be some silver lining to the election. There really does.
Didn't the Libs preference Greens against Jackie Trad?
Yep.
There you go. Dressing up for Halloween Thursday. It was tradition that every year we would do Halloween-themed episode where we would do decorations, but I forgot it was Halloween until I rocked up.
Yeah.
Right.
So no
Go
Kmart
Ali.
trip, unfortunately.
We don't have time for
But
that
we do
shit.
have one thing from last year
This?
next to it.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Spooky. Dun, dun, dun. Let's put that there.
That is scary, isn't it, Miss Love?
Very scary.
You're scared, aren't you? I'm
very
scared too.
Yeah, I'm very scared.
Well, we're supposed to light it up.
Not the one with the wound on it.
What happened to your foot?
Backfired.
What do you mean what happened to my foot?
You said,
freak out.
did something happen to your foot recently?
Yeah, it did actually.
Thanks, Miss.
What?
No, sorry, Ali. I mixed you up too because you both look so similar.
Exactly. Yeah, something
The
did happen to
two
my
ethnics.
foot. How'd you know that?
Hunch. Psychic abilities.
Yeah,
Can I just say, I've just noticed this. This couch is for whites only. All right? This is all that's ever sat on this couch. All the ethnics sit on that couch over there.
What about Aj Barker? He sat
I
there.
feel alone.
Oh yeah, Arj.
He's an honorary white
Yeah, he is.
because of how much weed he smoked in his life.
I didn't even know he was part Indian until like.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought
part
it was like
Indian.
Mexican or something.
His name
I
isn't.
think that's probably a good combination of what Mexican is: half Indian, half white.
Oh, I thought you were the half Indian, half Aj.
And that's why
Yeah.
they were called the Indians.
It's like the guy from the Foo Fighters. Remember?
No.
You're like, doesn't matter.
Oh,
Well, there was a big poster of it on our podcast for a long time, and you thought he was Mexican, and it was a fair assessment. But he's like
and what was he?
Indian Jamaican or something. And I guess that mix, you know.
Nuclears gave us $5 to say opinions on UNRWA ban on Israel. I've got no opinions on it.
That's the.
Nuclear Savage, can I just say, you are a much more educated person than me. You really shouldn't be listening to me. You have much better opinions than
It's
I
the
do.
United Nations refugee something.
Yes,
It's like the aid agency that helps
Teacher's pet over
displaced
here. He's
refugees.
so much better than us
And
white working class men. Mislav, come sit over on the white
oh
step.
wait, sorry, no. United Nations.
Never.
Wait, it's
That's a like
hey,
hornet's
he
nest.
paid $5 for this. It's United Nations Relief and Works Agency. It's essentially United Nations charity arm that helps displaced people, and Israel has banned them and has also, as a side note, been killing them.
Oh,
Really?
okay. Thanks for your $5, Nuclear Savage.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Uh,
Beautiful, even.
Queenslander.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, how was the
He's back in the
stream?
spirit.
It was all right.
Oi,
Yeah.
oi.
Nah.
Oh, come on,
Okay.
please.
I don't like this flavor as much.
Bubblegummy.
Mm.
Kamala Harris is Indian Jamaican, someone says.
Did you see what Tucker Carlson?
Not a
Did
question.
you see what Tucker Carlson said on Trump's insane rally?
And his insane laugh afterwards.
It's his girlish
And
laugh.
then
Do
also,
you like
see what
it?
he's-
Do you like his laugh? What do you reckon?
No.
Appears on his laugh? What
no,
do you
dude,
think?
it's weird.
It's really
You don't like?
it's weird,
Yeah,
dude.
and it's also weird
not
that he
charming?
criticizes
No.
Kamala's laugh
Strange.
when he laughs like
Yeah.
You
that.
can't do that. He is in no position.
so true.
I'm a fan of his laugh.
Are you?
No, you can't make fun.
How are you a
What's wrong
fan
with
of his
Kamala's
laugh?
laugh anyway?
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a school principal's
really
laugh.
Yeah, it's very
clutching it.
topical. It's like perfect for Halloween.
Kamala's laugh?
Yeah, it's a bit scary, bro.
It's so
Okay, so we're back
weird.
on she has a weird laugh and Tucker Carlson has every right
It's
to
really
accuse her.
weird.
No,
how,
no,
like-
Tucker Carlson doesn't because his laugh is worse than Kamala's.
You have a right to accuse. I like Ali's laugh a lot.
How is
And I
it?
like your laugh a lot.
I
I
don't
hate
like
my laugh. My laugh sounds like a witch or a supervillain in a just Count Dracula's laugh. I've
Or
got
just-
that laugh.
just a
I think I've
bully.
got like a.
Oh, you do a little bit.
I've got a ghoulish laugh.
Yeah, I don't like.
I'm an evil person.
Yeah, you're evil. I don't like my laugh, but I like Ali's laugh because it's like this sort of like wheezy, like New York City '90s comedy circuit laugh.
You like or don't like?
I like.
I like his laugh
I like
because
when
it
there's-
reminds me of a
It's a real laugh.
baby that smoked a lot of cigarettes. Sounds like that to me.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, I can. See
Did you see the
I know
CNN
you
segment
don't know what I
with
mean.
I do. I know exactly what you mean.
Jordan? Did you see the
I
CNN
know more
segment with
than you.
Mehdi Hassan?
More than me.
Yeah.
Is that his laugh? Hey, who can do the best Tucker? Come on.
We got to keep this for the main pod because that's part of it.
All
We're
right,
going to
yeah, that
discuss
is
the
gold content.
Madison
Sorry.
Square Garden.
My mistake.
Okay, Harp Seal once I gets a pat on his back. I campaigned in a seat that state labor. Thank you very much, Harp Seal. You've done amazing work.
Nah, no pat for you. They lost. You're a loser.
Mislav hates Queensland Labor. And I think it all comes down to the fact that they dared not be the abbreviation that he assumed they were. He's got nothing but negative things to say about them.
No, it's just that like
Boy,
it's my.
Miss.
No, it's not that. It's my inner jock that comes out when all you nerds start getting into your politics. There's an instinct to punch you in the head. You know. What the hell did
Well,
I do?
you started it. You just sat there and was like, guys, Tucker Carlson.
America's different. It's entertaining.
Well, this pod is
Such
going to be
schmo
entertaining.
views on politics. So awesome.
That's right.
You are a working class man.
I'm not a working class man. I'm on a podcast. Spiritually, maybe. Yeah.
There's a lot of working class schmoes on podcasts now.
Is there?
Yeah. Come on.
Vosh. I don't know
Joe
any.
Rogan should have been a plumber.
True. That's true. I should be the richest man
Or
alive.
at best, own a truck company.
Yeah. Probably
yeah, that's
does.
what he should be doing. I started off as a truckie. Now I have 5 trucks of my own.
The American dream is real. You heard of DMT?
I now rent a condo.
Hate your hate for Joe Rogan too. It's so
Yeah, dude, it's too.
so yuppie.
I mean,
Up
look,
yours.
okay,
Up
hold
the
on.
schmo ethnic count.
I'm
No
gonna.
wonder Trump's winning all the ethnic votes. Look at him. Such a
I
Joe
am not
Rogan
for
fan.
Trump. I have been explaining to you that
Yes,
the
you are.
ethnics have spoken, bro. I have been saying this for a long time.
He wants him to win.
I
What?
don't.
He said it off the pod.
Yeah, but
even.
that's the
And
commie
He told me
thing.
not to say it off the pod, but he did.
First
say
of all, I didn't even say that. I didn't say I want him to win. I said something else.
it. Yeah.
Which shall
Go on. What is it?
Well, okay, it's not on the main pod. I was. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Come on, please. Please say it off the main pod. Give the listeners what they want.
Because I'm just gonna get like fucking hate for it later.
As
Jordan
you deserve,
thinks Kamala is gonna win, and as you know, that I have been saying that Trump is gonna win. Not necessarily I want him to win, but is gonna win. And today I said to Jordan, I think not only is he gonna win, he's gonna fucking crush.
Shit.
Don't say it so matter of factly.
I'm not. I'm.
reporting as if it's someone else.
You
that said
told
it
me to
with
bring it up.
CNN.
I was saying I don't even want to bring it up.
But when you said it before, you said it with glee.
Ooh.
He's a secret Trump fan.
He's
as
really
is
not.
Mislav.
I
He's like a
promise
hard
you, I'm not a
communist,
secret
dude.
Trump fan.
It's like a
They
hard-
all are. I told you this. That's my whole theory about this. Commies want Trump to win. I don't know why.
Right. That doesn't make you a Trump fan.
But look at him. Ethnic commie. He is the perfect
I-
voter for Trump.
Okay, if this makes you feel better, I would have voted for Kamala before I would have voted for Trump.
That doesn't make me feel better.
Well, then,
I like it. I like my caricature in your head. This guy that's like, I like him. He's a very strong man. Teach India a lesson. Teach India.
if only he did, then I would. Nah. I'm just trying. I've been saying this for a while. The writing. Look, we'll leave it. Give us some other questions for now. Who's
nice.
Melania going to vote for?
Very good.
The Slovenian president, of course.
Hey, this is a really good call from AJ's Transport Videos, who, can I just
Oh,
say,
yeah.
you are going to love.
Oh, I'm aware already.
How? Oh, that's right. You were here yesterday.
Yeah, I was here yesterday. I know
That's
you probably
right.
forgot that, but I was here, yes.
Okay, well, thank you for that reminder. AJ's Transport, just so you know, Ali, is a man that catches buses all over Australia and films it.
Oh my God.
Pretty good.
An artist.
You're
A
going to love it
true
because you love
artist.
a man walking around
Artist.
talking about dogs.
dogs.
Hot
Hot
dogs.
dogs. Hell yeah. Yeah. I love that guy.
So AJ's Transport says David Crisafulli is John Barilaro from Wish. It's true. He's just a lame John Barilaro.
I think it's the other way around. Dude, if there's anyone from Wish, it's JB, my man.
How's JB flousing? You were at his house.
Yeah, well, I haven't been to the other dude's house, but
Yeah, I could imagine his house would be pretty sick.
yeah, dude. Queensland, cheaper land, bigger
Cheaper
house.
land.
Maybe a
There'd
book.
be a lot of columns in his house. wouldn't
Maybe
there?
like the only thing in his house wouldn't be Die Hard 3.
Can I make?
True.
I might take this opportunity to make a cup of tea because I don't even know what you're saying. I don't know what you're talking about. House
Well,
floss.
that's really
JB.
great for our confidence, Miss Love. Thank you. One of the main members of the pod has quit 15 minutes in. And mind you, was 3 minutes late. So he was there for 12 minutes, said, I don't know what you're talking about. Fucks off, because we're not talking about laughs of certain political commentators in America.
Be less boring.
Oh. Can I have a tea as well?
Yeah, okay. Actually, no. No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I'm joking.
Nobody votes on foreign policy. Not in Australia, but in the US, there's a history of them doing it. In fact, your favorite man, Lichtman, one of his things is a foreign policy fiasco.
I think if you are the center of the universe and you are the command center of the Death Star, if the stormtroopers could vote, that would be a huge proponent of it. Because they're the stormtroopers going down and dying on the Jedi planet.
Well, the Americans.
Yeah.
No, dude, they get Ukrainians to die.
Yeah, that's true as well.
And not just I'm not just like blaming them. Iran wants Lebanon to die. You know, there's like everyone. The powerful use other people to die. For example, if there's a war with China, the U.S. is going to use us to die.
Hell yeah.
And Miss Love will do it willingly, I'm sure. Die for the U.S. to beat China.
What, in the Australian army?
Yeah, in the Australian army.
I'm a, what do they call pacifist, man?
Yeah, of course you're a pacifist.
Doorstep, obviously. Yeah.
You're going to die for it?
And when Miss Love says doorstep, he means literally his doorstep because he's not leaving the house.
Are you the Uber Eats guy?
Imagine he was like, I can be. Do it on purpose. Sorry. Kamala was on Call Her Daddy and was asked what her favorite sex position is. I like cowgirl, ha ha ha. Stop, like, if...
Kamala said that?
Yeah, but like also,
never guess that.
Why are you... She doesn't know how to talk to people, dude. Like, she would have said that, but... Why is that a bad thing? Like, if Trump had said that his favorite position was doggy style on Joe Rogan, as if anyone would care. People would just be like, oh, I knew that. Come back here and then start talking. Miss Love asked, what did she say? And she said her favorite position was cowgirl.
Nuclear Savage gave us $6 and he said, Dutton is the bald Timu version of Trump. I don't agree with that. I think the bald Timu version of Trump, if you were going to use an Australian, you got to go with Clive, but he's not bald.
Yeah, no, Clive...
He's the fat Timu version.
What about Barnaby?
Yeah, I was thinking Barnaby too. Actually, Barnaby does say a lot of outrage. Trump has never been filmed on the main street of Canberra drunk. The best thing is just sort of slurring slurs into a phone. Isn't that great? Filming past him, he's like, yeah, fuck. This is the Deputy Prime Minister.
What about
No matter how much money he gave away in free water grants, you can't beat it.
the low-hanging fruit is Pauline Hanson.
He's fucked.
Is
He's
Pauline?
fucked, but
It's real.
it's real.
Is Pauline the Trump?
She's got not enough flavor. I like the sincerity of Pauline.
It's chicken salt. She has a lot of that.
She's got chicken salt flavor. That's a very good way of putting it. Totally.
Overload of chicken
And what
salt.
about this as well? Deep fried that hasn't been cleaned out in a while. Flavor.
Damn, that is way too accurate about her.
You know when you go to a cheap fish and chip shop and the oil just ain't right?
I've heard that she apparently hits on like people that come to convention stuff. Like she gets out there. Like she tries.
Totally. Hey, Justin gave us $5. He wants to know something, Ali. Do you think, this is directed at you, do you think that the Puerto Rico comment that Trump made at that rally will equate to a big reduction in the ethnic vote for Trump?
What did he say?
You're not gonna like the answer. No. Like it will get more fans. Like,
What did he say?
He made a joke. Oh, we're going to talk about it in the main pod.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it in the main pod. I don't think so, and we can go into more details.
Oh, this is brutal. Someone gave us $2 and said if Miss Love was in the army, he'd step on a landmine at the doorstep.
No, but except that they missed out this part on purpose.
So he said on purpose.
No, I said
I'm a conscientious objector.
I am a conscientious depressed man.
Taken from a, Twitch live streamer. I'll take it as a compliment.
Hey, is that what I've been relegated to already?
Not you, the audience.
Oh, thank God.
I take it as I'll take it as a compliment from a man commenting on a stream.
Yeah, good. It's a woman though, by the way.
Well,
And what a woman.
probably would. Whoever it is right.
Hey, Jordan, here's the comment. When they put glasses on Dutton to make him look less terrifying, by the way, which was a genius move, that's what made me realize the libs were crazy enough to actually run him in as a leader in the election.
Wait, say again?
When they put the glasses on Dutton to make him look less terrifying, that's what made me realize the libs were crazy enough to actually run him in as a leader.
Yes. Now, let's just add this. Those glasses really help that man.
Oh my God. He's like, they replace his non-existent eyebrows.
That's the thing that freaks you out.
that's
He
what
doesn't
makes
have eyebrows.
Are you saying that it's a prop?
Yeah. It's a
Fuck, you guys
prop.
are too
Dude, it's
Deep into this shit.
It's 100% a
freaking me
prop.
out.
No one should think about Dutton's face that much,
So
should they?
weird.
Now take your vape.
Thank you.
Not even his.
Jackie Boy writes, how much worse do you... Thanks for $5, Jack. How much worse do you think logging practices are going to get in Queensland now that the LNP is in power? Well, it'll just go back to what it was before. It'll be Brazilian-level land clearing, which, again, is why I highly recommend that you donate to the Wombat Trust, because I think that we can win some of those wins. Lot of clearing.
That's an issue that upsets me. I don't want them to be logging that shit.
You know what really upsets me as
for it.
well?
What?
Only 8% of the population will vote on environmental issues. 92%
Yeah, but that
don't
in
give a
particular.
fuck.
Did you know, like, we have one of the highest forest covers in the world?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
You wouldn't
forest
think that
cover?
looking at Australia. It just looks like red dirt. But
but it's
we
also
have
very easy to do that when most countries are the size of Sydney.
Yeah, true. But, like, we got to protect that shit. Come on.
$2 Raven 187 says, save us moo dang.
Hey, what about this, Jordan? Instead of logging, this point has never been used before. Hemp, bro.
Yeah.
It's durable.
Right on.
It's stronger. It grows faster.
It doesn't look as nice in your kitchen, though, I've got to say.
I'm okay with that, dude. If it protects forests, who cares?
I don't know.
As if it looked bad.
I'm sorry, I
Yes.
just like a black butt kitchen. It's nice.
It is nice.
You agree?
No, I'm with him though.
Well, just paint black over it.
See, you don't even know what black butt is.
Yeah, that's
do
it. It's
you?
not black. It's a kind of wood.
Well,
Finally, we've got Miss Love interested in the podcast.
Now don't lose me. Don't lose me.
So good.
But I'm with Ali
Just
on
chuck a nice North Shore mum reference in.
But no, I'm with Ali. Hemp is. I don't know why hemp hasn't taken off.
Ali, come on, tell me that that's not better than hemp. That is worth
It's beautiful, but it's not worth.
stripping
bro,
Queensland of every tree it has.
I like how that looks and everything, but it's just that I like the forest more, man.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Poll. Are nice kitchens
What?
more important
Then what?
than
Oxygen?
oxygen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
You frame it like
you know
that.
which one to vote. Come on, chat. Don't let me down. Wow, someone gave us $20.
Damn.
What do they want?
It's so nice.
Jordan, are you going to dress up as Tony Abbott for Halloween in the gong and eat an onion to stay in character?
You are now.
No, that was such a waste of money. That's not happening.
Hey, guess
Also,
what
my
I'm
mate
doing on
Donald
Halloween?
Trump
When
made
is Halloween?
contact with you recently,
Saturday.
and I wanted to know how that went.
Say that again.
Aussie Donald Trump made contact with you recently, and I wanted to know how that went. Well, see, again, jump scare. I don't know who you're talking about, so no. Look. What the hell are you talking about? 2, sorry to disappoint you. 3, thank you for your donation. Banmole, $5 dues for you guys to rate spring rolls out of 10.
Dude, 5.
5?
Not a big fan.
Wait, there's so many different kinds
You're not,
though.
and you're not an anti-fan though, are you?
That's why 5.
It's oxygen to you.
No, I think oxygen
Are
is
nice
10.
kitchens more important than oxygen? 65% are on point. Go LNP in Queensland. That's what we're talking about. Now, what about you, miss?
There's so many different kinds. You know, it's really it's a big question.
I really shouldn't have asked the guy that spends all his life watching a man walk around New York saying, this is near the Yankee Stadium. Doesn't have good dogs. Oh, wait, this one was kind of good.
God, I love that channel.
You know what I'm talking about too, don't you? You know that exact episode.
Yes, I do. How have you seen it?
Because our good editor and friend Tom was here setting up this stream so it wasn't as fucked
Oh, did he?
today.
Oh,
He
nice.
spent 2 hours and he said, this is a bigger job than I thought.
Really?
So he's going to have to come back.
What did he do? He just like moved that koala a bit and then moved
And
it
he was
back.
testing the thing that Ali's constantly complaining about. Our audience seems to love the fact that every time we put up a video, there is endless reverb and it sounds like an ADD schizophrenic
Delay.
night.
I don't think they love it.
Yes,
No, they actually do love
They
it.
love
they
it.
love it.
They complain about it. Okay, here's a comment. I guess a fun trivia fact someone shared. Fellas, did you know if Greater Sydney was a city in the U.S., it would be the second biggest to L.A.?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a big city.
Really?
It's a big city,
dude, it's like 5 million people. That's one of the biggest
No, that's
cities.
not true. New York.
No, but geographically, I think they mean the sprawl.
Oh, geographically, that's
Oh,
that's a
geographically,
crack
it'll be one of the biggest in the
cities
world,
in the
I think. Yeah.
Probably
Really?
bigger
What,
than Mexico
Sydney?
City, I reckon.
No, no
It just
way.
sprawls
Geographically,
on and
bro.
on. It goes forever. And you know what else they say?
What?
Perth's not that far behind.
That's
Doesn't
true.
take
Perth is
much.
Really
You
sprawled.
can make a tiny amount of people
Yeah.
really big if everyone owns 30 acres of land.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not economically, it's
Well,
not
that's
very
like-
efficient.
That's like good vindication because, like, whenever I'm driving in Sydney, I'm like, fuck this traffic.
Euclid
Now,
Savage gave us $10. Spring roll or Chico roll?
It's spring roll.
Jesus,
Spring
that's
roll, for
funny,
sure.
funny joke.
What's the joke?
I'd rather eat a turd.
Then a Chico roll.
Yeah.
Me too. Remember when Merrick and Rosso was sick for a week because they were in a
ugh,
Chico roll eating
That's
contest?
disgusting.
Isn't it?
It's actually the most filthy thing ever. It's because cabbage in it. It's like rubbish.
$3. Ali, how likely is Israel to deport all Gazans?
Deport?
I would say the answer is 0.
Wait, what do you mean by deport?
I think he means get rid of them all.
Yeah, so ethnic cleanse, guys.
Oh, well, that's a
Deport.
100% chance.
Oh, like, it's the framing of it, deport.
No, they didn't pay their fine.
Unless
So they have to-
unless you mean
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else by deport, if you mean ethnic cleansing, very high. It's like how successful they'll be is a question. But very, very high that they're already doing it. It's also not even a. But I think they mean something else by deport. Maybe they mean like workers living in Israel. There's no workers that go from Gaza to Israel, if that was your question. There were workers that go from West Bank to Israel for work. They've got work permits, but ever since the Gaza offensive, I think close to like 95% of them are not allowed to come in anymore. There's 5% essential workers that essentially work in building the war machinery that is being used that have waivers, and they're still in Israel. But this is a big issue. It's not just for West Bank, but also for Israel because their labor force has just evaporated and they're having serious economic issues as a consequence too.
Labor.
There we go. Mislav gets the final word. Jackie boy, $2. What's the best city in Oz and why is it Brisbane? Very good question. Because Brisbane is what Sydney was in the 90s. That's the answer.
Brisbane's
and then
sick.
the next best city, what do you reckon? We all agree it's Brisbane.
Well, you agree with Brisbane.
You don't agree?
Yeah.
This is new news to me.
First of all, what is the metric?
Newcastle.
In what?
Everything, living.
Okay, overall, I would say minus the cost of living, Sydney is the best one.
Shit. Minus the cost of living. Fair enough, I guess. I mean, I don't.
No, well, you're just, okay. That's such an unfair way to look at it. You can't do that.
Well, what's the cost
Apart
of living?
from living in the city, Sydney's the best one.
Well, what's the difference between cost of living in Sydney to Brisbane? What, 20%?
That's a lot of percent.
No, I know it is.
Don't dismiss
It is.
that.
But you also
You're really
get
showing your privileged podcast life here, Alan.
No, I'm not. Hey, believe me, there's no privilege here. But I'm saying,
don't have to tell us
Hey,
twice.
I'm total scummer, right?
I'm just saying, like the best thing about Sydney is, aside from like it's one of the prettiest cities in the country, it's geographically located at the best climatic zone ever. It's not as hot as Brisbane is because Brisbane can get stinking hot,
It's
bro.
too hot in Brisbane. Yeah.
And it's not like lame like Melbourne where it's the cloud cover and it gets too cold in certain months. And if
it
even,
gets too hot.
and then it gets too hot, but like humid and
Melbourne just sucks. I think we can all agree Melbourne's the worst city.
no, I don't think.
Melbourne has
Well,
like
including crap cities like Ipswich, yeah.
That's not is that a city?
I don't know.
social
It
life
doesn't
and
count.
It's a town.
They say city on the board.
They've got you too. These.
Ipswich Council Tourism Board. Miss Love's arch nemesis.
I should have known. I want free eggs. I'm promoting your city.
No wonder you've been secretly undermining this podcast.
Secretly,
You're one of them.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
of these Toowoombahites.
I think Adelaide is up there.
Yeah, you love Adelaide. And you know what? Hey, most livable city in the world. Did you know it just won that?
That's cool.
It makes sense.
It feels
It is.
that way.
It's
Feels
also
that way.
a very pretty city. It's small enough that you don't feel completely lost and alien.
Never met an asshole in Adelaide.
Yeah, everyone's really nice in Adelaide.
But I've never met an asshole in Brisbane, and I've never met an asshole in Perth.
And the other thing that is unbelievable about them, not only are the people generally nice, Adelaide takes its customer service very seriously too. I don't know why.
Because that's all they've got, man.
Customers. Oh, like,
They're all
you
a
go
bunch
to- you go to, like, a
wine
rest-
tasters in training.
I guess so. They're all very nice over there, and it's a pretty city. It's got the beach. It's got hills.
yeah.
It's got it all.
Yeah.
$10. Thank you so much, Jumpscare Myers. Can you dress up as John Barilaro for Halloween instead and reinforce the fact that he's a fictional cartoon villain? No, Jumpscare! I know that you have a picture of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy on your front, but I am not into dressing up in costume. Wait, yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
I made that entire career out of
Yeah.
it. Well, I'm still not dressing for it. But thank you for you, buddy. Braden Clampett just got here, and the first thing I hear is ethnic cleansing. $5. Yeah, well,
Standard.
stay around. You'll hear it a lot more. And as we've already pointed out, Ali is very pro ethnic cleansing. Oh, guys, nice kitchens are more important than oxygen is down to a paltry 60% of the vote. Can we please get this up to 2/3 again? You can't
Who's
let the
winning?
no
Well,
vote win.
you don't have to convince them too
This
much.
is the
I think
yes
the,
vote that deserves a go. Enshrine that in the Constitution.
I think the LNP is doing it for you. Don't worry.
Thank you. We've got a 500 yen.
Another yen.
We've got a 500 yen donation from Ronius, who writes, in Japan, the dominant right-wing coalition just lost their majority in the GE.
Really?
And now the two biggest parties are begging for coalition partners. Word? See, Ali, I wish you paid any attention at all to the one country on earth that's good.
I did. I mean, I know a little bit about it. I'm happy.
We'll talk about that on the pod.
That's cool.
Instead of your
Well, I
Middle
haven't-
East shenanigans.
I wasn't going to talk about
Look,
Middle
you've
East.
turned everyone off. They think we're all into ethnic cleansing.
APAC has succeeded. They have silenced me. I do not feel the need to do it anymore. I genuinely don't. I have been silenced adequately. Good job.
Adequately. Well, that's really cool to know. You should look into that, Ali. I can't be bothered to.
No, I'm not prepped for it. Maybe we can do it next week, but I did look into it a little bit, and I am happy with the results. That's all I can say.
Wow,
Sick.
really?
That's good.
Okay. Miss Love should stream Metal Gear Revengeance
Ooh.
and learn to play its soundtrack. I'd sub. And this is a
Learn
guy
to
called
play
The Fat Man.
Hell yeah. I don't know that one. That must be a new Metal Gear Solid, right?
Yeah.
What's it called? Metal Gear
Metal
what?
Gear Revengeance. Bandmole, if you could live on the moon or the earth, but only underground, what would you choose and why?
Moon, Earth. Yeah, Earth. What the hell?
Yeah, Earth. Metal Gear.
I choose the moon.
Revengeance.
There's no cheese there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you would like to live there because of the cheese.
No, I would. I would have if there was.
If there was cheese.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
this
don't
looks
want to live
good.
there because of the cheese. I want to live there because it is a desolate rock.
Yeah, of course.
And also, I think that there might be an alien base on there.
On the moon, dude. The imagination is so restricted. It's there's aliens on the moon. We've been on the moon.
This looks good, man. I'd play this for sure.
You should do it, miss.
But like, I
You
don't.
should
I don't pay for
Stream
it.
games that aren't from 98.
All right, let's start the pod.
But I don't want to
All
pay
right, but
for
Jack
it.
Hughes just said, saying that Sydney is good deserves a long walk in the short ravine. Okay, that's a pretty fucked call, Jack.
That's fine.
But thank you so much for that. We will continue on with the pod live, but from now on, we're not going to be answering any cheap $2 or $5 questions.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry,
that's
but
right.
we do need to do a podcast here. But you know, if you do donate a little bit more, maybe we might.
Hey, put away your computer now. I'm allowed to. But okay, let's start.
Sick.
Wait.
Oxygen, baby.
Oxygen. I need oxygen.
Is that what we're saying with the kitchen thing?
Hey, put your phone away, put your computer away, just for like 1 hour.
But should we be taking questions from people?
Not for this phase. We can do it at the end if you want to. We can, but like not for the next 40 minutes.
All right, so you heard first. We're not taking any questions.
For the next 40 minutes, we will be taking in a few calls. Okay, here we go.
Shit.
1, 2. Welcome to the Friendly Jordies podcast. This is a nervous podcast, ladies and gentlemen, because the U.S. polls are tightening. We are 1 week away from the election, and it seems like it's 50-50.
Dang. Exciting.
Are you excited?
Well, you know, that's like if it was a sports game,
You'd be excited.
Yeah.
Dude,
But it's
I'd
an
be.
election,
Well,
so you're even more excited.
yeah, same. Whatever.
Aren't you
You're not
guys-
excited because it's an election.
Like, it's scary, but I don't even know. It depends. I just don't. I jump from Trump's going to end the world to he won't pretty regularly, so I don't know. Just depends on the day.
Wow. You, like the American voter, are flipping a coin.
Yeah. I wouldn't be flicking a coin, but like, you know, I don't know, man. Is he a huge threat? I don't know.
The vibes check. He's done it again.
What?
He's got the mood of America down pat. I don't know. Is he scary or is he awesome? I can't tell.
Well, it's easy for you guys.
You're in the same boat, sort of.
No, dude.
Yes.
I watched the Madison Square Garden.
That was
I am
crazy.
petrified.
That
bro.
was crazy.
Did you see that?
No.
You guys, I feel like I should color my hair green, but you both have a certain privilege because you're not the one being deported.
This election is just a TV show for you.
But it
But
is.
you, a non-citizen on the other side of the world, it's real.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, like, no, it's not. But I'm just saying, it spreads, bro. As if stop pretending that our politicians don't just cheat and look at Trump's notes and try to implement that here.
You what?
Do you
It's
think
coming.
they do?
Yeah, dude. Always.
I don't think they do
No,
at
they
all.
don't.
2016,
Yeah.
Trump, everyone said reprehensible, wins the election. All of a sudden, all conservative politicians in Australia start saying similar shit.
I don't think they did. I think in 2016 we elected Malcolm Turnbull. That is as far away from Donald Trump as you can get.
I guess.
Further
So.
away than Kamala Harris.
I'm not saying that the
Geographically speaking.
I'm not saying the people follow it, but I'm saying that Liberal Party conservatives follow him.
Liberal Party.
Man.
Conservatives.
I think it's the same thing across the world. Are they following Trump or are they always like that?
Okay, well, let's focus on the first topic that we need to talk about is
The arena.
the arena and the controversial Puerto Rican. So, did you guys hear the joke?
No.
I heard,
It was
someone
a
made
joke.
It was a
Is
joke.
that what this is all about?
Yes, but
And
keep
you're
it.
scared.
I'm not scared by the joke. I'm scared by the other shit
attitude.
that surrounded the joke. Tony Hinchcliffe, the comedian, doesn't scare me. It's the background filled with Republicans that are clapping at Kamala the devil, enemy within. That scares me. Anyways, but the joke was, if you guys haven't heard the joke, it's a very, well, I won't give my opinion. He says that this is a troubling time for the world. There's a literal floating garbage island in the middle of the ocean. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Trump didn't say that. The
No,
comedian.
Tony Hinchcliffe, the comedian.
Yeah, a
said that.
comedian said it.
And what? This took 48 hours of MSNBC coverage to
Yep.
dissect, did it?
Yep, it did indeed.
And this was exactly like last week when Donald Trump said that a golfer had a larger penis than other golfers.
Yes, but this
And that was
time-
also very troubling.
dude,
Everything's just troubling.
You have to understand they're slipping in the polls. They need it all. They got to do something. For some reason, I don't know if they're stupid or if they truly believe that this is a valid form of applying pressure. Where I don't think it matters at all.
No.
This has no bearing. But you know what they are doing, which does have bearing. Every poll in the U.S. conducted, contrary to beliefs of Trump and Kamala. Kamala, for instance, thought that the point that would be most effective for her is stressing on the abortion issue. Trump, on the other hand, believed that the point that is most effective for him is the border and deporting immigrants. Polls again and again show that it's
the
actually the
economy,
economy. And
It's
so
always
both,
the economy.
both
When is it
parties.
never the economy.
I don't know why people get distracted. Well, the immigration, first of all, both of those issues are valid to some extent. Like abortion issue is genuinely valid. I mean, look, man, I don't know how controversial it's been in Australia. I feel like we've come to this consensus, right? Like if in Australia they were talking about potential bans in some states or making the terms of after this, how many, even like we would be against that, and we're not even women. So you can understand how important it would be for women. So it makes sense for some people. However, the most common issue remains the economy.
Well, it's probably because when it comes to immigration and it comes to abortion, the lines are set.
Yeah. That's
Everyone's
the
made
other
up their
thing
mind
too,
on those two issues. That's probably why it's shifted to the economy.
Yeah. And the immigration, we were talking about this, but like, I don't know if, like, I hear a lot about, the number of immigrants has increased. There's a lot of illegal. That's all true. But this is, I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, that this is a global phenomenon at this point. So there's a few things that happen that turbocharged immigration into not just like the US, Australia, Europe, New Zealand.
And it was Joe Biden getting elected.
And
We all know,
even no, it's not. And even like second world countries that are transitioning, like everyone faced an influx. So there was, the biggest thing was that you had COVID, and then after COVID and when the inflation increased, you had contractionary pressures on every economy in the world. In the first world, you manage to absorb it. I mean, there's problems for everyone, but you do manage to absorb it. In the third world, it has literally led to collapse of some societies. So that's created a massive outflow of immigrants.
Which one?
Throughout the third world. So if you look at like the immigrants that actually go to the U.S., one of the largest immigrant population is Vietnamese, Indians, Pakistanis.
Wow. So the same that have always been migrating.
Well, somehow they got turbocharged during this period. And I think that's one of the factors. I'm not saying that this is the only factor, but the contracting economy, and in some cases, so like there's a lot of countries that literally filed for bankruptcy within this period. You look at Sri Lanka that defaulted and essentially went bankrupt.
How much they defaulted for? What was it again? It was like
$30 million or something.
30 million.
I mean, it's a small country, bro. It's
30. That's an Oz Lotto. It's not even an Oz Lotto that people care about and say, it's up to 100 million this week.
That isn't. Well,
you could buy 3 Bangladeshis.
I wouldn't mind one. That'd be pretty sweet. A lot.
What would you have to do with?
Just a lot of practice rooms, which is a country of band practice spaces.
Everyone get out of the Carnegie Hall. And the town hall. And the
hall,
hospitals. They got good echo reverb for it. How'd you get? You put that same thing that you put on your Harry Potter book in whiteout, just over the top of the public hospital's property of Miss Love.
With a sad face, being like, "Oh, it's so sad. Get out." Fuck, that'd be so good. That'd be sick, dude.
Ali, how does it feel that your region of the world is a joke?
It's not his country.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
History, baby.
He's
Ancient
in on
history.
the joke now.
It feels like a past life. I mean, look, no, it feels pretty bad. All of it, dude. It's like the world. Yeah, it's a tough period for the world. If you think like, if England says we're going to third world levels, third world is going to like sixth world levels. It's like,
Damn.
it's a tough one. Yeah. And then like and the other thing is like a lot of the stuff, the growth of immigrants, and we face this in Australia to a large extent too. The backlog of COVID applications just got cleared immediately, right? So you had like 2 to 3 years of blocked immigration, because 2 years minimum of COVID. And then all of a sudden, all those applications come in. And so you have a large influx of immigrants, which would have been sort of consistent had COVID never happened. But on the surface, on ground, you just see like, all of a sudden there's a lot more people. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is like the immigration issue is valid to some extent.
I can't believe it. Ali is saying that the immigration issue is valid.
That is weird.
I told you he was a
To
Trump
some
voter.
extent, because this can all be solved with sanctuary cities.
Sanctuaries. Trump says he wants to ban them.
I don't think he can, bro. On one
really?
hand, he's like,
it's a city issue.
Right.
He was running for mayor of 20 cities at once.
So he's lying. That's not like him. Well, he said,
dude, he
said
lies
he'll
all the
ban
time.
Sanctuary cities. That's funny if he can't even do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's up to him.
Yeah, it's also, it's like everything for him is like, it's the states will decide, except when sanctuary cities, I will ban it all.
Yeah, that's pretty funny actually. Fuck.
I will stop dogs getting eaten in a small town. That's right. I'm running for general manager.
Oh, man.
All right. So what do you guys think about what's your gut saying about who's gonna win?
Oh my God, it's my head. My head has always been on the side of the Democrats, and you can't take anything that I ever say because I have the worst prediction election result ever. So I think that Trump is going to win because I think that Kamala is going to win, but I do think that Kamala Harris is going to win and title.
What are your reasons? Let's go through some of the reasons.
Early postal voting is up. Early postal voting shows a huge increase of registration for women.
Right.
White women Republicans are turned off by Trump. He's only winning in that category by a point.
Really?
White working class men are not as interested in Trump as before. The enthusiasm factor of Donald Trump just ain't there. I'm sorry, he doesn't have it anymore. He doesn't have it. He's got it. He's still Trump.
I mean, he's got it. If you saw his address to the Catholic fundraiser, he's definitely got it.
Okay, now I'm getting off the pod and I'm going to make myself a tea. Now I'm bored.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sorry. Never again can you ever say that we're dweebs for liking politics.
Yes, I can.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, he really fired up at the Catholic fundraiser.
So what? I got my finger on the pulse. These guys just go for the mainstream stuff.
All right, Miss Wall, Jordan makes his tea.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know who's gonna win. I honestly don't.
Okay,
know.
let's focus on because
I don't know.
Maybe,
if someone had a gun to my head,
let me rephrase the question. You don't have to say who you think.
No,
is
I
gonna
can.
win.
I can. But yeah.
All right, go on.
It's not like I don't know, but if someone had a gun to my head and they were just like, "I'm gonna kill you unless you say one of them," I'd probably say Trump.
Okay, now here's my question. Forget who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. Jordan said that he feels that the enthusiasm level for Trump is not where it used to be. Do you feel the same?
Yeah. I think he's right. Yeah, I think he's right. It's not where it used to be, but I don't think it's as dramatic. I don't think that's going to mean as dramatic a thing as he's saying.
I think it does in elections in America because that's what wins elections. When you
I'm-
motivate people to go out to vote.
Okay, Jordan, can I ask you a question? Traditionally, forget this election. Traditionally, what are the Democrat voting blocks and what are the Republican voting blocks?
Yes, I know. But
Go on, for the audience.
And weave in something about the Catholic speech while you're saying it.
Now, who are the Democrat voting blocks?
the Democratic voting blocks are educated whites, blacks, Latinos.
Latinx.
Latinx, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No wonder they're moving over to Trump. I can't remember who I just did.
Latinos.
Now I'm doing to the Republicans, aren't I? Uneducated whites. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You called him uneducated. He's doing the deplorable thing. He's doing the deplorable.
So do you agree?
They see it as a badge of honor.
Really?
Do you agree?
'Cause they ain't college boy.
Do you agree that out of those three that you mentioned, that the minority votes are going towards Trump this time around?
Yes.
Do you think that?
But do you agree? Will you agree that uneducated whites and white women are moving towards the Democrats?
Uneducated whites and white women.
So they're cancelling each other out.
Towards...
And honestly, if I wanted one block to move towards me, I would want uneducated whites.
I think there's
You keep all the migrants you want. Send me you're tired, you're hungry, you're poor. Out you go. Over to the Republicans, which makes no sense
it makes
at all.
it makes a lot more electoral sense too. Like if you want a voting block, uneducated whites is the best one.
That's the best one. I mean, they can win on one block.
Yeah. The rest have to form a coalition. That is a behemoth in its own.
Totally. So I'm saying that if they aren't as enthused as they were in 2016 and they were scraping just over the line in 2016, remember, we're talking about a couple of swing states where if in all of these precincts there was a couple of votes the other way, Hillary Clinton would have won. A couple. Two.
Right.
I know that we have a lot of trouble with Mislav when it comes to him when he couldn't decide the difference between a threesome and an orgy. So I'm trying to dispel this.
I mean, thank you.
Similar. I suppose they are.
Definitely are.
It's the starting of an orgy. It's the
yeah.
build. It's the block of an orgy.
Three's a crowd.
He's a crowd. And an orgy's a party.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so even if we say, let's say that they're moving and they're greater in
moving.
numbers, let's say,
Right.
55%, I'm just making these figures up. Let's say 55% were in Trump's category, and this time around, it's gone to 53, 52. That's how much the difference is. It can't be any more than that.
Yeah.
Right? But on the same hand, you've lost your minorities, which includes black men and Latinos. Do you think the math still makes sense?
Yeah, but what is the maths? Because I think that it's only about a fifth that are moving towards the Republicans.
Okay, so all right, fine. Let's agree with you. What about the fact that pollsters are saying that there's a better chance for Trump than it is for Kamala? What are they getting wrong?
They always say that the Republicans are winning, always. And the reason that they do that is because those aggregate pollsters are flooded by a bunch of Cato Institute faux polling where they go out and they say, oh my God, it's going to be a landslide. And the reason that they do that is because they figured out that if you say that one side is winning, how dumb is this? I know people like this as well. People will vote for someone because they think that they're going to win and they want to be on the side of the winners. That is a small fraction of the population that will do that.
That's mental.
And that in itself is a voting block.
Jesus.
So they move that towards them.
The ego block.
The ego block. The thing is, when you are polling Republicans and when you're polling Democrats, Democrats are usually younger. Democrats are usually more educated. These are busy people that don't have home phones that they sit around asking questions all day. They don't answer private numbers.
Yeah, most people don't do that anymore.
Exactly. So who's answering this?
Yeah.
All right, now
People in Nebraska.
Yeah.
okay, now I've got a segment. So what we have are two Friendly Jordies podcast fans that live in the U.S. And we're gonna give them a call.
Ooh,
Hopefully
that's interesting.
Cool.
The time difference is pretty bad.
How did you find that?
I managed to find them.
Wow, that's actually interesting.
Wow.
So it's not
Ali's done something
the guy
this
who
week,
shits
hasn't he?
himself.
and for quota purposes, it's one woman and one man.
Right.
It just happened to be that
I don't
way.
support that at all.
So what we'll
We should get
do
rid of
is
the woman.
we'll do. I'll organize the calls and we'll get an update on what things are like on the ground. What are they feeling?
Damn.
Okay.
Far out. That's exciting.
That is cool, Ali. See, this is what happens when you focus on this instead of your stupid law degree.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
You're stupid, Ali. We're geniuses. Why are you sitting on the ethnic couch? Come over to the white guy couch.
Hi, Ali. How are you?
Hello. Firstly,
American?
would you like us to? They're both Aussie that live in the US. by the way.
Hang up on
Hi,
it.
Jordan. Hi, Miss. How are you?
Yeah,
Hey,
great.
How are
What would you like?
Really
I'm from
Australian
Perth,
too,
so,
aren't you?
Are you from Perth?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
from
the accent.
WA, mate.
Where
so,
in Perth?
Yeah.
Where in Perth?
Well, I say Perth, but my hometown is Albany.
Yeah. South.
Albany,
Down
West
south?
Australia. So that's like a small country town,
Nice.
Yep.
like 500 k's south of Perth. But
Yep.
Oh my
obviously no one really
God.
knows that, so I just say Perth.
Jeez, no wonder you
What?
wanted to leave. Why are you in America?
Oh, I don't know. Well, because of you, Jordan. Actually,
What?
it's all your fault. No, no. Your one of your videos on your self-help channel gave me the push that I needed to take a chance on my music, and
Whoa.
I watched your video. It was like, I think it was called like "Watch This When You Hit Rock Bottom," or I don't know if you remember that one.
The video's
But
just
yeah, I was
if
like,
you're from Albury,
a couple years
you
ago.
should leave.
Yeah, no, it was quite old. Like, it was one of your ones before you had all your graphics and everything. It was like on your shitty background and
Yes.
all of that.
No, I remember the video.
It was great.
You know
and,
why I remember that video though?
Was it filmed
It's
in Lithgow?
because
Why?
it was
Shit.
Miss Love, who is another struggling musician, who also felt like
Yeah.
he was
Hey,
hitting rock bottom.
She's not that
10
struggling.
years of counting.
Still
And
struggling.
so he said, "Can you do a video when you hit rock bottom?" And it inspired another musician to go chase their dreams while Miss Love sits here in
Wow.
Australia,
Who's doing
driving away.
Look, in
Where you could be
hindsight,
in Nashville. Tell me you're in Nashville.
Where are you?
Please tell me you're in Nashville.
I flew back from Nashville today.
Whoa!
So I'm based in Vegas, but I was out in Nashville over the weekend.
Wow.
Accepting some awards at the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Oh
no
my
big deal, but
God. Are you serious? So you are a successful country musician?
Well, I don't know if I'm so successful.
Can
So
we
let me-
reveal
let me
your
backtrack.
identity?
It's
Are you?
awards though.
Wait 1 second. Can we reveal your
Yeah,
identity?
you can. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
She-
Look, I'm not going to be too edgy tonight. I'll behave myself. But yeah, you can say my name. I don't care.
No, I'll plug your Instagram handle because you are actually a successful musician now. So Jordan, you
Yeah, let me
did
check
well.
out the Instagram. I got it. Sorry, I'm breaking the laptop.
I'm gonna like. Well, so for those of you listening in, if you want to check out, it's Rachel Lincoln _ on Instagram. You guys can have a look at the Instagram. And Rachel, you're a singer based in Vegas. Awesome.
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
so
Wait, what do you do though? What's your singing then? Is it country?
So
Sick.
yeah, so pretty much I'll backtrack. So when I saw your video, that inspired me. Looking back, I wasn't really at rock bottom. I thought that I was at rock bottom. I had
I
just
took that one for
I just
you.
gone through it. It was pathetic. I look back and I'm like, oh, as if that's rock bottom. That's just privileged rock bottom. No, I was just a little bit sad because I think I'd just gone through a breakup or something, and I was like, oh, I'm at rock bottom, you know. And I was like, no, I think this is the chance for me to, almost indulge in the freedom. And you said something in the video. It was like, when you've got nothing, you've got nothing left to lose. And I was like, well, I feel like I have nothing, I've lost the love of my life. And I was like, okay, well, maybe now's the time to go and give this a crack. So that was around July.
And also,
2022.
if you're doing country music, you have to have your
Well, I
heart
didn't-
broken. Otherwise, what else have you got to sing about?
Well, exactly, yeah. Well, at that point in time, I didn't know that I wanted to go down the country route. So I was just singing at Crown Casino in Perth, the cast there, just,
Fuck,
a
that's
lounge singer, doing cover, just being a cover musician. Did a few weddings. Yeah, you're allowed to laugh at that. But I thought, music was something I always loved, and I always reverted back to music. I went to business school and did business law, but I came back to music and I was like, there's got to be something here. I do want to give it a crack. And, but I didn't just want to do casino singing at the cast. I was like, there's got to be something more, and I need to go and give it a shot. And if not, that's fine. I'll just come back and, work on the mines and do FIFO or something like that,
Totally.
But I was like, I need to just...
Totally. You're from Perth. You have an out.
It's in my blood.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage. So I was like, look, I'm going to go to the US and just see what happens. So I came here...
Miss Love, you should
came for
learn from
10
her.
days.
You really should. That's amazing.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
actually, Miss, I'm pretty sure I messaged you years ago saying oi, let's collab, and you never acknowledged it. Anyway,
Now you've lost your chance now, Miss Love, as well. No, never
Please,
collab with
give me
him
another
ever.
shot. Give me another shot.
No, you had it. And also, how weird would that be as well? Indie rock and country. It couldn't
True.
work,
I
right?
reckon it could work. It could.
What kind of?
We could-
So
we
you
could
make
give it a
original
crack.
stuff, obviously.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
What kind of country is it?
At
Is it
that
like
time,
new
it's,
country?
I would say country pop. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
It's like crossover country pop.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, my favourite.
it's like old school Taylor Swift. No?
Yeah, I guess. Yep, you could say
Yes.
that.
She
She's
hates
soaking
it.
up the crumbs. She's soaking up the crumbs with Taylor left off.
Shake it off.
Yes.
Someone's got to do it. Hey, I'm from WA. Remember, I've got to fucking take anything I can.
That's sick.
So I came over here just for 10 days. I think I watched your video in the July. I came over for 10 days in the October, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm going home for Christmas, whatever. And then in January 2023, I'm just going to go and see what happens. I had a 90-day EFTA. I came with one suitcase, and nearly, in January, it'd be 2 years, and I'm still here. So
That's
Incredible.
amazing.
it's
Round
been
of applause.
Yeah, round of applause.
Yeah.
Go, Rach.
Good work,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rachel.
that's sick. What a story.
Hey, as
Country
uplifting
girl, come good.
That's amazing.
as uplifting your story is, you live in Nevada, which seems to be a swing state. What's the feel on
Yes,
the
it is.
ground? What do you think
Oh,
Americans are thinking?
Look, I want to preface before I get into it. I'll preface it with this. A few years ago, if you told me that I would be attending a Trump rally, which I did last Thursday, I would have laughed.
That's how
No
I
way, I
found
would not go.
Rachel, by the way, a story.
How?
Yes.
She was at a Trump
Yeah.
rally on the story, and I saw them, and I was like,
way.
I'm going to like this.
How could you not?
And then we started talking, and I was like, come on the pod, tell us. Continue, Rachel.
Yeah, so I think, before I came over here, and even probably in the first, probably the first year that I was here, you don't really see and you don't really start to understand why, Trump has 30,000 people going to these rallies day in, day out. There's a reason for that. And, I think I understand now why. It's because, the American people, there's nowhere else to turn to. You have the Biden-Harris administration, they inherited a bad situation, right? When they came into office, it was, I think, at the height of the pandemic. But that's not really a good enough excuse for what has happened lately. And I think a lot of people are feeling like the Democrats have almost done like a bit of a bait and switch tactic, with Kamala now coming in, and almost having this coronation out of nowhere. She didn't even win their primaries, yet now she's all of a sudden, here she is. We don't know who this woman is. And I think a lot of people who were maybe on the fence or, swing voters, I think they don't like that, I think. They think that's a little bit fishy. And myself, like even on the day when Trump got shot at, I was sort of watching that going, oh, is this a setup? Is this legit? Like I was, back in July, I was like, I don't know about this. And then here we are, October. I'm now going to the Trump rally, clapping along. So I think in the last few months, the more I'm learning, the more I'm hearing, I can understand why people are going to these Trump rallies and getting so emotional. And you sort of can't blame them.
Hang on, are they emotional? Because all we hear all the time is that attendees are down and everyone's bored and they walk out.
No, people are crying. Like I had people sitting in my sort of the area that I was seating at. They're on their feet. They're jumping up and down. They're crying. They're wiping their faces. Like
what
people
are they crying
get into
about?
it. He talks so simply, right? And obviously he does it on purpose. But
simply yet bigly.
It's that hope.
Sorry.
It's the hope that maybe he will clean all the shit up that's happened. I mean, people do feel annoyed at the fact that, $200 billion has gone to Ukraine, yet the borders are wide open. You've got, 10 million people coming in who, now not all of them are bad people, no, but there are some murderers and rapists among them. People in California.
And some you assume are good people?
Well, I'm sure some are great, and that's fine. Look, I'm on the path to green card here. Look, I'm one of them too, all right? But I did things the right way. I jumped through the hoops. I paid the thousands of dollars. I did everything that I needed to do. I could have gone down to Tijuana and bloody walked back over with them, but I didn't, right? I went through the right process. But I think, people in California, right? I spent 6 months in California when I first came to the US, and I thought, bloody hell, I cannot stay here.
Really?
People in California are pissed off. Taxpayers in California are pissed off because the California state government is using taxpayer money, get this, to pay for illegals' sex changes, their gender-affirming surgery. Now,
that is kind of bizarre.
I think that Californians have a right to be annoyed at that. Why is that? Why is that xenophobic, or why does that make you a bigot if you're against that?
Yeah, but I think that the main point is that it's just yes, that is an annoying bureaucratic tedium of it. But it's just so strange that becomes like a main national.
It's not a main thing. That's not national. That's you go
no, but it's just you go on Fox News and they'll be talking about that constantly, and it's like this is a federal election.
Yeah.
Rachel, can I ask you a question? I understand that this the gender affirming surgeries in prisons with inmates is a dicey issue, but the amount of people that this issue affects, do you think it's a worthy election issue? Should we be focusing on this?
No, it's not. It's just an example of the flow-on effects of having such an open border, right? I mean, there's things under Trump, there was no new wars. For 32 years, all the administrations saw new wars. Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden. But people are saying, well, hang on a second. When we had Trump, for 4 years, there was no new wars. Mortgages now, to get a mortgage under Trump, when he was in office, it was $75,000. Now it's $125,000. You know,
God,
and,
I wish that
and
was
you
still
can
the
sort of
case here.
understand.
USD,
God,
my
that'd be
friend.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I think
USD,
she's,
yes, USD.
50. No.
I think she means
Those
a
poor
deposit.
Americans.
I think she means the deposit.
The deposit?
Yeah,
You're talking
of
about the
course.
deposit or the mortgage rate?
No, salary. So salary to service the mortgage.
Salary, yeah.
Yeah, so you need to have
Damn,
75,000. You need to be earning
Right,
$75,000 a year. Under Trump, it was $75,000 a year.
Yeah, but
Now
Rachel,
you need
that's
to be earning
like again, this is one of these
125,000.
things of like, yes, but then Biden inherited a global cost of living crisis, you know, and like in those instances, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter who was there. If it was Trump or if it was Biden, it would still go up.
Yeah, and like,
No,
and it's
I'm
the
not
same.
disputing
Like,
it.
you go back to WA now, it's gone up there too. It's.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah,
which is,
I went back in February and I was like, geez, Coles and Woolies are bloody rooting the people over there. So, yes, it's everywhere. But and that's the
So
thing.
you're
I think,
like,
even
so
technically,
you consider yourself like
Sure.
you like you're a Trump. Like, I don't know. Can you vote now?
no, I can't.
Okay,
I'm
but
not a
you
citizen.
would vote for him.
I
You
have legal
reckon?
status. Yeah.
But you would vote for him. Or you're not
I
sure?
think if I was, I think if I was a citizen and could vote, I think I would vote for Trump because
Yeah.
it's not about. I think what people need to realise, especially people that are not in the US, it's not about you're not voting for him or her. You're actually voting for 5,000 people to run the government department.
Mm.
So, and I think it you have to acknowledge the fact that he's got two Democratic defectors, if you will. He's got Tulsi Gabbard and Bobby Kennedy, who both ran as presidential candidates as Democrats, and now endorsing him.
we love
I mean,
Babby.
But you can also
Bobby
point to a
Kennedy,
bunch of
he's the
people
first-
in the Trump administration that went to the Democrats. I think it's like actually like
Yeah.
it's like dozens of
Yeah,
them. It's like,
there's
we
a
can't
lot.
work
In
with
fact,
this
a lot
thing.
of people that worked for Trump.
A lot of people that
over.
work for Trump also moved over.
Yeah.
You know what I honestly think is
Yeah.
the only legitimate Trump gripe that they've really got? I fully understand the border thing. I fully understand that.
You're freaking me out with that. If that fuck. if
Yeah.
that
Oh
breaks
yeah,
down,
sorry, I'm
it's
touching like this
screwed.
But
MP3
people
while I'm
like-
talking to you. I can't. Sorry, Rachel.
All
Yeah,
our
go on.
shows go if that breaks.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Maybe don't like.
No, I
fuck
think
with the
with the border thing.
Sorry.
Go on, Ray.
Like with the border thing, having 10 million people come in just like that, you have to think about, okay, well, I can't vote, right? But if I stay here in maybe 5 years, yeah, okay, I could convert to citizenship. I would be able to vote. That would probably piss off people like me who are citizens, who have migrated here, who did do things the right way, who did pay the tens of thousands of dollars to jump through the hoops and get their papers. So I think that,
Okay, I gotta-
Now,
that
here's
does
the
piss me
question,
off.
though, Rachel, because I'm going to have to look at the figures for this because I always hear this, that Republicans always run this thing of, we're going to be so tough on the borders, and then they get in, and then they do nothing. And the reality of the situation is it's because every Western economy now is just underpinned by migration, and it's because everything just moved out.
Part of it,
like
I'm
all the
gonna-
manufacturing moves. So really the way that you keep an economy afloat is just by constantly increasing.
I'm going to defend Rachel
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this. I
What?
might disagree with the figures of 10 million. However, part of the reason when Trump was in power and he was doing some of his border measures, you can agree or disagree with the measures themselves, but they would get vetoed at any federal court in the U.S. Their courts have like de facto power to not necessarily pay attention to what Congress is thinking, and they can just block measures.
Right.
If you remember those cages and the kids stuff,
Yeah.
that all got blocked at courts. So they basically said you can't do this.
But that's again, this is one of those things that the CNN and the Fox News fears. They're always talking about the caged children. But in terms of reducing the migration rate, I think it was Obama that was the most successful.
well, the
He got
numbers
the
were
numbers the lowest.
The numbers were lower, but like, look, man, I'm gonna be honest here. As soon as Biden came in, and nothing to do with Biden himself. I mean, partly, but like the traffickers and migrants increased in numbers because they assumed that they would get a favorable treatment now that the administration has changed. And if you remember, in the early days, Kamala did a speech where she says, "Don't come, don't come." Don't come to America. And that was because she was telling those people that just because there's a change in administration doesn't mean that you can come here.
Yeah, I
but the
remember
traffic
that.
came. It increased a lot. And it was just based on the perception that Trump is now gone, it's going to be easier to do it.
What Rachel's saying does make a lot of sense, though. Like it's really that thing of it's the same. What I don't like about the Trump campaign is they are preying on things that no government really has control over. Economy and migration are going to have to go hand in hand. It's the only way that you can keep the economy afloat in this time. And so sitting there and just saying like, oh yeah, when we go in, migration's going to go down to zero. The economy's going to be amazing. I mean, it is a lie.
Dude, there's one way to fix it. And we've shown it to the world.
Thursday.
Offshore.
He's saying on Thursday
detention.
night, like, sorry.
Yeah, go.
He was saying on Thursday night here, he was saying like, we're going to have the biggest mass deportation that this country's ever seen. And I mean, I know because I've been dealing myself over the last, nearly 2 years with USCIS, which is the government department that deals with, you can converting your status to, legal permanent residence. That's going to take a hell of a long time because just in there, just dealing with me. And now I'm above board, okay? Mine's an easy case.
All right, well, you have been saying that a lot. It is making me down.
Burner for...
No, you're...
Yeah.
I'm a legitimate citizen.
I'm a single, woman that's come here with no children, no criminal record, whether educated, willing to work, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Not tooting my own horn, but if I, it's taking them 2 years to deal with me. So to round up all these people that they want to deport, plus the harem of kids and families that
exactly. And Rachel, your case would be simple because you said you're a single woman. Now, as you know, if you're born in the U.S., you by default become an American citizen. So if there's an illegal immigrant living in the U.S. that has a child, they are American citizens. There's issues with deporting that person. The 10 million figure, it's going to be impossible. You're absolutely right to deport 10. Also, I don't even know where this figure comes from. Trump himself says it could be 2 million, 3 million, but I know that it's 10 times more than that. And in other places, he's even said that it's close to 20 to 30 million. So the figures are just all over the place. But whatever the figures are, there's a lot of illegal immigrants in the U.S. And to deport them, you're going to need 16 terms.
It'll take decades.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I think the thing about it is, the thing about Australia, it's great, right? We're an island, so we don't have this issue of, land border crossings. But come on, at home, right? If this was happening, if we just had masses and masses of boats coming in, I think the Aussie, public, they would be pretty pissed off, and they would. I think, it's fair to say, look, the people that are coming in, I think they do need to speak English. I encountered an Uber today that, look, I actually do have a service animal. It is bullshit, but hey, I jumped through all the hoops.
What's your service animal?
So,
what is it?
So over here, so we don't have.
I bet you it's a French bulldog or something.
Animal here, you're gonna laugh. It's a Pomeranian.
Oh, for fuck. That's way more bullshit than I thought. You could maybe get away with a Labrador or something. How is this?
Hey,
what were you just like? It's just my mental health. Is that the thing?
No. Well, you don't. Well, you don't actually have to disclose why you have it. But as long as you jump through the hoops and get it registered, you can fly for free on the plane and stay in hotels. So I thought, well, I'm American now. I'm going to take advantage of all that bullshit.
Good on you. I do it too, 100%. If I can take my dog on a plane and to hotels, I do it.
Yeah.
I need it. Emotional.
Yeah, look at my story. The dog's on my lap on a Spirit Airlines flight. It's
awesome.
Hey, I can either just raw dog this flight on Spirit with no entertainment, or I can have my puppy on my lap.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. It is great. So why I got onto that. So service animals here, there's a whole law protecting them, and establishments can't deny you, hotels can't say you're not allowed to come in, all of that kind of stuff, right? Uber can't say anything, your Uber driver has to accept it. So I had this bloke pick me up today, take me to the airport to fly back here. No English, and he's carrying on, you can't have that dog and all this, and I'm like, well, it's a service animal. You agree to these terms and conditions when you agree to, drive for Uber. So you actually can't say shit. This is the law. It's a service animal. Shut up. And he couldn't understand. He couldn't, form a sentence together. And I'm thinking, mate, if you need to be able to speak the language. I think that's a minimum. I think, but me saying that, if I went out and said that now,
what did you say?
It's not extreme. And I well, I was saying, I feel like I can speak pretty freely with you guys, but if I went out on the street in, California and said that, I'd be obliterated. I'd be labelled, racist and, no, I would, xenophobic, and all the blue-haired, lefties would be coming after me with pitchforks. but that's a pretty reasonable ask, I think. If you're going to migrate somewhere, like, you do need to be able to speak the language. I don't think that's a big ask.
I just don't think that Trump would do.
But
I just don't think that.
Aussies migrate to France and they can't speak French. People migrate all over the world. Like if an Australian moves to China to do work, I mean, do they need to also know Mandarin before they get their visa?
I suppose they're not being cab drivers in.
Well, that's irrelevant. That means you're looking at cab drivers as, as you're putting it on a different pedestal. I'm food for thought. I'm just saying there's different ways to look at it.
But is the Aussie going there just for a
if you're
temporary
getting like an
contract,
office job
or
or
do
something
they
at a
intend-
consulate, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like it really does depend though. Like if you're in a service job though, I'd imagine that English is probably a good thing to learn. Maybe.
But you can.
The thing is, I don't think that Trump is not going to do anything about it. That's why. Rachel.
No,
Rachel,
the thing about it is,
just so you know, Rachel, because this was something that I was like, I cannot believe that this is not getting the traction that it deserves to get, which was that the Biden administration did put through the toughest border control laws of any administration. All the stuff that the Republicans have been raving on about for 30 years. We need these protections. We need this much funding. Biden was like, all right, let's do it. Then the Republicans say, no, we're not doing it. And why did they do that? To keep this issue alive because they thought it was an election.
so they could run on it.
Like they're dirty.
That
people.
might be true.
That's what I'm saying.
That might be true,
scum.
Jordan. But on the surface, their excuse was, and you can further comment if you think that's bullshit. But their excuse was the bill included amnesty for current illegal immigrants in the U.S. So whoever's here right now, amnesty. You get a pathway to citizenship. Anyone coming from now on can't. The thing is,
that's a good deal.
Yeah, but that is a good deal to some extent. But
because as
this
Rachel
isn't
was
the
saying,
first time that's happened.
Again, with this amnesty thing, as Rachel's saying, that's decades of backlog anyway.
Yeah, dude, I get it. But this isn't the first time that's happened. It happens in every at some point there's an amnesty, and always the promise is this is the last amnesty. From now on, we're gonna stop this issue from. But in practice, it never happens.
What?
After the amnesty, illegal immigrants continue to come in and they spend years. For some economic immigrants, that's their straight up strategy. Hide until there's an amnesty scheme.
Yeah, I get it. But
yeah,
yeah, go on.
Sorry. I was just going to say, it's a joke, especially in Southern California, down in San Diego and stuff. A lot of them. Oh. See, I've got to be careful. I don't want to say things and then sound racist, but I'm just relaying things that I've been told and heard, So, yeah, I've got to be careful here.
Rachel, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but without getting you into trouble, and also we're running over time, we thank you so much for calling in because we know it's what time is it over there? It must be some ridiculous.
It's about 10 minutes to 3 a.m.
Oh, shit.
But I got
Thanks
a
for
nap
staying
in.
up.
I got a nap in. I got a nap in. I was not going to miss this. I'm such huge fan. And I want your address where I can send.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. We'll send you our post office address.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much for calling in, okay?
Dude, congrats
Thanks,
again on
thanks so much for having me.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was sick. That was really cool.
Same with Forrest Hall.
Also, she
Good
offered
on you. Take it easy.
to show us around if we come to the U.S., the three of us.
Sick.
That's so nice.
Yeah, you got to do some shows over here, Jordan.
I will at some point. I definitely will.
You got
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Rach.
All
Thanks.
right. Thank you.
No
brother.
worries. Take it easy. See ya. Bye.
What a nice young lady.
Yeah.
But you know what was very interesting about that I thought the whole time is just okay, she clearly supports Trump. Isn't it so annoying that the Republican machine can sit there and say, these are the reasons that you should vote for Trump? When if you look at it issue by issue, the entire Republican wing is just lying about those issues. So if Rachel wants to vote on those issues, the Democrats are hands down better on all of those issues.
I don't know.
You can make that argument, yeah.
What?
I'm agreeing with you to some extent. You can make that argument. It's not that... look, anyways, continue.
Well, it just really angers me that every time... This is exactly the same problem that Labor's dealing with here, right? Dude, Rachel's a good person. She seems to be somebody who's actually quite up to date with things. She was able to rattle off a bunch of stats that are accurate. but it's annoying that you can just spin it in a time when the world is going through a global financial crisis and be like, that's because the president is there.
Sure.
And if I was there, it wouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
and you can prove that because I was there before and economic conditions were better. And it was like, because you were presiding over a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't compare these two things.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know, like again, like Rachel is clearly a very ambitious person that's actually like to be a singer in America and make something of yourself coming from there, like that's somebody that's like quite switched on, and you could tell from how quick she was. She knows all of these things, you know, like she knows what she's talking about. That was not talking to, you were not talking to an idiot there, you know.
Wait, don't say that yet because we're about to make another goal.
Well, you know how sometimes you ring up someone and they're just like,
Hillbilly.
oh, his name's Hillbilly sick. But you know, like sometimes people will call up and they'll just be like, I'm voting One Nation. And you're like, why? It's just like, just tired of the soy boys. And you're kind of just like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, like I guess the soy boys are annoying.
Tired of the soy boys.
No, fair enough. It's
just like,
you
dude,
can spin
I
it any which
really,
way.
really hate how that side of politics is just so well funded. They can just inundate constantly with a bunch of think tank talking points. They can just make this entire narrative, spinning it out of things that are sort of like half truths.
Dude,
you know,
just on that money spending, I was looking at Florida as a state today. Did you know that Republicans, for the last, I don't know how many years, have been spending 10 times more than the Democrats?
Right.
Like, how do you think Florida became red? It's insane.
See?
Like, they outcompete their Democrat partners to some ridiculous level. It's not even like, you know, a little bit. It's a massive difference.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because they can pump the dark money into it. This is what happened in Queensland. Yeah. Because again, look, I think that Rachel is sincere about her main points being migration and the economy, you know? But if you were looking at it on a level playing field and the Democrats had the money and the infrastructure to make that argument, it'd just be a no-brainer.
All right, look, let's make another call because maybe we get a different opinion on this. He might have dozed off. It is very late. Oh no, here we go. Hello, Hillbilly.
Hillbilly. Mayday.
Hello, Australia.
Yeah.
Hey.
Here we go.
Man, you can't be that hillbilly. Where are
Howdy,
you?
y'all.
Oh, he's pretty hillbilly.
I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. It is
Shit.
almost 6 a.m., so I've got it a little easier than the previous caller. You were right, though. She's vastly more intelligent than I am.
I think Ali called it the best.
Hillbilly, how long have you been living?
What's your story?
Yeah, what's your story?
Yeah, why are you called
A
hillbilly?
quick one.
Well, I've been here for 10 years. Melbourne born and raised. I'm actually Estonian by background, so Miss Love, your tattoo and I have got some history.
Wait, you're what?
But,
What's your background?
Estonian.
Oh.
Estonian.
What tattoo?
Yeah. Your Simpsons tattoo, the Lisa character.
How do you know about that? Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, well, I've listened to every single episode you guys have done.
Okay, sick.
King.
But
Awesome.
my story, Melbourne born and raised, lived in China after high school.
Wow.
And did art, music, and psychology. Then moved to Ohio to do a postdoc in psychology. Met my wife, who's from Eastern Kentucky, which is like true hillbilly territory, like the mountains, Appalachia, and everything.
Hillbilly.
And,
Hillbilly. Listen,
yeah.
wait. Is that place awesome?
Which place?
The hillbilly
Appalachia?
place.
Kentucky.
Where your wife's from?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. There's like a lot of like hiking in mountainous areas and stuff like that. There's a lot of like kind of Appalachian culture that you're not going to see elsewhere. But like, to be honest, it's like a lot of it's pretty destitute these days. And that was like the real kind of wake up experience for me, because there's just so much poverty and so much like homelessness and drugs and all these like hollowed out towns. You know, like I arrived here as kind of like a Jon Stewart, Michael Moore type liberal, and then I'm driving to my in-laws 4 hours away, and you're just driving through town after town that's just hollowed out. just empty. Some of them, there's just like nothing but a church holding them all together, you know. And then you start to realize, shit, man, middle America's really struggling. And then I go back to Athens, Ohio, which is where I was doing my postdoc. Very progressive, liberal college town, and they just hate rural white America. It's visceral, and they're all narcissistic. They're all narcissistically complaining about their victimhood and stuff. And literally 5 minutes away, it's Trump. It's Trump territory everywhere. And it's like never the twain shall meet. This progressive institution that does not give a shit about actual suffering 5 minutes away. And that was kind of my wake-up call. So look, 2 for 2 on this segment, because I pretty much agree with everything Rachel said.
Oh, really? We didn't get we can't. Okay, so I've got, you live in Ohio. Ohio used to be a swing state / blue state, but now it's pretty red.
Correct.
So what's the vibe down there?
Trump did that.
Yeah.
So Obama won Ohio twice. Obama even won Indiana once. And so times really have changed. And where I used to live in Athens, Ohio, which is southeast, true Appalachia, there was a town nearby called Nelsonville. And Obama won it by like 90%. And then Trump won it by like 90%. So, you know, people have, like, some towns really flipped. Yeah. You know, and so you can't go and say, oh, they're racist, whatever, because like they mostly voted for Obama. You know, it's mostly economic. There are obviously other factors as well. Yes, some racism has been emerged from the woodworks and stuff like that. But to your question, the vibe, I mean, there's not much presidential activity in Ohio because, as you say, it's not a swing state anymore. They're not bothering. Like, why would you spend money here? So most of the ads you see are for the senatorial race, for the House race, and for the local Ohio races. The stuff you're seeing against the incumbent Ohio senator is he backed Biden's stuff like 95% of the time, and Biden's stuff isn't so popular here in Ohio. So that's pretty good strategy.
What does the Democrat do?
The other guy is he stole from his employees, you know. So that's kind of like the. Say again, sorry?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not as good of a message, is it? The Republican message is going to win out on that easily.
Yeah, probably, because that's what I was thinking. It's like, if the only thing you've got to say against this guy is he stole from some of his employees, which is obviously very bad. I'm not going to defend that. But like running for a senatorial position, I'm like, you can't attack his issues, you can't attack his positions.
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't have that much to go on, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll take the liar that I know. I don't, you know.
Yeah, totally. That does make a lot of sense. Yeah, that's a way stronger message.
So are you going to call it for Trump? What do you think? What does your gut say?
Oh, man, it's really hard because, look, I think any analysis like this has to begin with a discussion of Alan Lichtman's 13 Keys to the White House. And
hell yeah! That's what I'm talking.
I was hoping we didn't bring that up.
Inner liberal comes out.
That man is...
Alan Lichtman for the win.
Yeah, okay. So you see, well, Alan Lichtman says that Kamala is coming in.
Yeah. Autists for the win, right, Jordan?
Autists for the win.
Look, he's 10. He's 10 for 10. And, like, people say he didn't get 2,000 right. He got 2,000 right.
He got 2,000 right.
Gore won that. And,
yeah, exactly, Ali.
And,
you can't vote, right, yet?
No, I can't.
Can your missus?
Yeah.
Well, of course she can.
Yeah. And she's already
who'd she vote for?
Look, I respect her autonomy as an American citizen and I'll keep that to myself.
Don't disclose it.
Okay, you don't want to because she's a woman, and I want. Okay, fair. That proves your point the other day that you were making that women won't vote for Trump. Here we go.
Because his wife won't.
No, I'm just saying that there's many.
His wife from Appalachia.
I am just saying that there's many women in the U.S. that will vote for Trump.
I know that. I'm saying that they're voting in less droves than they would that carried him in 2016.
Yeah,
that's my point.
I think that's true. I think the female vote has slipped from Trump from day one, right, from 2016, and it's very hard for him to get it back. Look, my wife's an OBGYN, so she has like very good reason to prioritize female reproductive health and stuff like that in her voting. Also, like, her biggest issue was the Supreme Court. And I really respect that because it's like Trump got 3 people in, Biden only got 1. It's like 6-3 conservative to liberal right now. And in the long run, that's a bit worrying. And so when you're looking at 20 years ahead,
he stacked the Supreme Court with conservatives.
Yeah,
right?
well, it just happened to die in his term.
Hey?
They just happened to die
They
in his
also
term.
did the scummy thing of not allowing Obama.
Yeah,
to
Obama
appoint
didn't
Which
do it.
isn't, that was scummy. But which I think Democrats are now asking, what's her name? Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Isn't she dead?
I think
Which one's still alive? The really
dead.
old one.
The old black
I
chick?
don't know.
No. She's like, she's not black. But they're saying that please retire. Like, we're asking her during Biden's presidency.
Sotomayor and Elena Kagan.
Yeah. Sotomayor is still young, I
And
think.
they're getting old.
Yeah. Sotomayor was appointed by Obama.
Obama.
Can I ask why do you think all these rural towns are suffering so much? Is it a bipartisan issue? Are both parties screwing regional towns? Because everyone says it was Bill Clinton, right? Bill Clinton and what was it? Not NAFTA or Bill Clinton signed something that was like it's
I
screwed.
can defend the Bill Clinton legacy.
You can
I
defend it. Apparently, he screwed it all up. That's what.
Yeah, I know, but like this was the trade-off, right? It's what Ali talks about all the time. It's that you traded out your manufacturing to become sort of a brain of the world. And so what he is witnessing is the effects of Bill Clinton, which is that, yes, he did hollow out the blue-collar base.
Yeah.
But generally, the economy soared as a result of those decisions. And so you can see that divide happening where he's living, where you go to the cities and it's
so Bill Clinton was happy to be like, Kentucky won't exist anymore, but you've got iPhones. Is that it?
cheap iPhones.
Is that it? That was his plan?
I don't think that they thought that it was going to be as severe as what it was.
Okay.
But I think that also generally the fact is that, look, you're in a rock and a hard place position because you can't compete with China. You can't compete with the Philippines, not just on labor, but also on the fact that their population is so much bigger that they can just train people to be in these factory positions. Right. Like when the iPhone tried to come back to America and they realized, we were willing to cover the costs of labor, but we cannot find the skills required in America for this. Right. There's just not enough people for that, you know? So they had to just go back to China. So basically what Bill Clinton did was make a tough decision, is what I'm saying. So this was a global shift that was happening at the time.
So you're saying it's almost like inevitable. It's not fair to blame the Democrats.
It's really inevitable. Or you could just continue on as is, and then you become uncompetitive, and then your economy gets tanked.
You definitely can't beg Democrats because when these decisions were happening, this was a bipartisan decision.
Right.
Republicans weren't protesting. It's only now in hindsight that Trumpian Republicans go back and go, oh, NAFTA was so bad. At the time, they were singing praises.
It was amazing. Yeah. And the same with the Iraq War. They just do it. It's just whatever is an election.
So what I'm hearing here is you should vote independent.
If only RFK was still running.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy.
No, vote for the whale. Nuke the whale.
Yeah.
All right, Hillbilly.
Gotta nuke something.
Yeah, totally. He gets it.
Yeah, just nuke the hurricane. It's something. Hillbilly, thank you. Do you want to tell us your name, or you're cool with Hillbilly?
Well, I have that story to share with you later, so maybe not share my name.
Okay, cool. We'll keep your name. So, Hillbilly, thank you so much for calling in. We know it's like 6, 7 a.m., so time to get up and go to work.
That's right. Gotta get the kids
economy.
Up. That's my next
Tough economy. But thank you so much. This means a lot to us.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
And thank you for listening to the pod and being such a trooper of a fan.
King.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. Like this, you guys are like the best way that I can like reconnect with Australia.
Hell yeah.
And so like you bring back all the nostalgia and stuff like that. So that's why I love listening to you.
Awesome.
You're a legend.
Thanks.
Enjoy.
Thanks. We'll talk to
guys.
you when you do the stories. All right. Bye.
See ya.
Sounds good, mate. All right, cheers, guys.
See ya. 2 legends in a row.
Interesting.
2 legends.
Something
They were
about
both awesome, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There's something about like America. It just attracts the best.
Really
And some,
does. The
I
best and
assume, are
brightest.
rapists.
And some of them are rapists. Questionably, tentatively, the first one that doesn't have citizenship yet. Now that was really cool. That was both of them were very bright, ambitious young individuals, and I wish them all the best.
All right, we've spent
It is interesting.
most of the pod on the election issue. I did have to bring this up. I think people would say that we're disingenuous if I didn't bring this up. Jordan, Albo is in some trouble about upgrading his Qantas flights.
I'm just gonna.
What's your take?
I want to pee too.
No.
Oh, is it that time already?
Let him come back and then you can pee. But tell us what your take is. What do you think?
It's just exactly the same as the house thing. It's stupid. They use this tactic all the time. It's so dumb. What prime minister doesn't have upgrades? What, you want a prime minister to be sitting around in economy class, do you? What, he gets free upgrades? He's the prime minister.
Okay.
What are you talking about? And this is exactly the same thing.
Facts are wrong here. Let me just correct the fact. These upgrades weren't in question when he is the prime minister. He has his private jet now. He doesn't need upgrades.
Yeah.
This was when he was the minister.
Yeah.
So on his private trips to Hawaii or wherever, allegedly 22 times, he called up Alan Joyce, who was whoever the Qantas CEO was at the time, and allegedly asked for upgrades, which he got.
Yeah.
That's the issue. So it's not while he was prime minister. He hasn't broken any law.
Mm-hmm. And he's also regulated heavy against Qantas.
So this is the controversy. They're saying that it happened now, causation correlation, but they're saying that Albo has been pressing for Qantas to, he's not allowing Qatar Airways and these other airlines to increase competition in Australia. Mm-hmm. And the accusation is that he's protecting Qantas.
Yep, which is what every Australian Prime Minister would do.
Which would, because Australia has a big stake in Qantas. However, there's this issue of upgrades. Is he doing it because of the upgrades, or is he doing it for some other reason?
I'm sick to death of this. I hate this so much, this point of, they get donations, that's why things are the way they are. You know what's way scarier to a politician? That, like, do you seriously think that people in that position are going to think, they gave me a business class flight, time to give them multi-billion-dollar bailouts? This isn't how this works.
True gold class flyer. He's in the club. He's in the club.
Joyce, I wouldn't mind some upgrades, I've got to say.
The elites.
Look,
the elites.
I'm defending you. Come on, I deserve a fucking upgrade.
But he's not even the CEO
if
anymore.
I was doing it, because I'm a cheap ass. I am not that guy. The thing is, Anthony Albanese, it's so stupid, this whole thing. It's the same thing of like, the reason that they don't do anything about housing is because they like own houses as investments. What a stupid reason that is. I'm sick to death of this idea that like politicians do things because of donations and perks. You know what they do things for? They're not doing it because of the carrot. They're doing it because of the stick. You can see this very obviously in the Queensland election that just happened. The reason that there is no longer a Labor government there is because they started taxing coal, and so then they just pumped the state with a bunch of dark money. Nobody knows why they're voting him out. They just realise, it's time, crime or whatever, even though graph's going down, crime. And then they just put them out. This is why these things happen. The reason that there is no movement on housing is because there is a big housing lobby that if you did it, they'd run a bunch of scare campaigns, they'd just pump a bunch of money in like the coal lobby did, and they'd win the election and Dutton would get in. This is why there's not movement on this. And you can't even use that when it comes to Qantas anyway, because like they can link it and say like, he's not increasing competition, which is a stupid reason because as Ali pointed out, we have a 51% stake as a nation in Qantas, and that's the reason that Qantas is the way that it is now, and it has that protectorate status. But then on top of that, guys, Anthony Albanese has cracked down heavily on wage theft. A bunch of the wage laws that Qantas was using to up its price in the stock market has now been outlawed. That would piss off Qantas monumentally. You're still going to sit there and say that, he's making these decisions because of flights? Well, then why has he done all of these labour laws then? This is a very stupid... I hate these arguments so much.
Yeah, because
and I hate it even when the Liberals are in, honestly, when they say, they got free flights. But they don't do it when the Liberals are in. That's the annoying part.
It's a correlation, not a causation, because if you really were... Like, you'd get a lot more than... Like, at least first class for that.
Exactly.
That deserves a first class.
Come on.
And having said all this, you'd do it. You'd call the CEO and you know how good it is compared to economy. Don't pretend.
I'm saying it now, dude. Once you're in business class, you can't go back to that filth in economy.
No, you can't. Even
Cattle.
I haven't been.
I mean, you can because you have to,
Yeah, but if you can ring up Alan Joyce and say, please don't make me sit in row F. Please not row F.
FB.
Come on,
1A, please give me 1A.
If Delta can do
I'd
it.
suck you for it.
I'd suck Alan for it.
Yeah.
Alan would be down.
All right.
Anyway, sorry, we'll move on.
Let him cook.
We've got one more thing, don't we?
Yeah, you have. We have one more thing. This is your segment, the new elite. That's the.
Is that about you?
You're looking at him.
Is that about Albo?
The barefoot investor.
Ties in perfectly.
Yeah. You like that twitch? Twitchy.
Oh shit!
What's that segment about?
Taking it.
Taking him to task.
No, it's just it's perfect. It's like, now back to the Trotskyites or whatever.
So good. I'm sorry, just once you're in business, you're not going back.
Yeah, you can't go back. Anyway,
It's exactly Bill Maher's point of like, come on, if you could fly private, of course you would.
And he was right. If you could, you would.
Yeah.
You would. Okay, so anyway, there's a very interesting correlation that's happening that you can see, and I think that the best indicator of this is the yes vote. As Ali pointed out, what was your observations about who voted yes in Australia?
From what I remember, it was, like the city centers.
The city centres. Yeah. And then the further you go out, the more they're voting no.
Yeah, which included the suburbs of these city centers, unfortunately, for the yes crew.
That's what they're saying. So, Ali, why do you think that is?
I'm gonna stay out of this one, bro. You deal with this. I don't know why. They're ignorant. That's why.
No, your words. They're ignorant. Okay. I think this is a very good indicator of what the new elite class is.
Oh yeah, I've heard this. You told me this.
Oh, okay.
But
Thanks
go on,
for
go
destroying the segment.
It's called Bit Late, this segment, is it?
All right, well then you sum up then. If you heard
shut
it.
up.
Go
I haven't
on,
heard
you
it.
Say it. You say all the racy yes
Now
points.
I have to remember it.
So you don't know.
That it was... No, your point was that it was like the new fashion, basically. So it was just like a fashion... It's like the elite have taken these issues as like... It's a signifier of status, and it's just fashion.
Yeah, I've said that point before on the podcast.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
This is marrying into this.
Oh, damn. My bad.
Let's have the wedding.
Thanks for wasting our time. Mitch.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
if you go back and you look at the elite class in, say, the 1900s, the elite class was there because of titles. If you were out of money, it didn't really matter. You'd still be invited to the Queen's birthday. You'd still be offered a bunch of business deals because you had that family name. And that's all that mattered. That was your ticket into the elite class. You were just kind of like in India, the caste system. You're part of the Raj or whatever it's called. That's it. Doesn't matter if you're poor. You've kind of got all of this access to social and political and economic capital for the rest of your life because you're in that bubble. So you really have to stop thinking about money being attached to class. And a very good example of that would be tradies, for instance. Tradies being like, yeah, mate, I've got a jet ski, got a holiday house. Yeah. And everyone thinks, can you just clean my fucking pipe? Shut up. This is not someone that's part of the elite class. They have more money than you.
Right.
But they're not part of the elite.
I've seen this porn. Continue. So clear the pipes and then.
Damn. I love how we learn a lot about our porn consumption habits on this political podcast. I do. I mean, we all share it.
Yeah. So money has no bearing on whether you are in the elite class or not.
And do you agree with that, Ali, first off?
Yeah, to some extent. Like, real POV greenies in Newtown would probably have $10 in their bank account, but they would vote based on the perceived class interest, I suppose.
Yes.
Because they're not going to stay poor like that. They'll get their inheritance.
Yeah, totally. And a big part of the elite class, if you are going to say that it had nothing to do with money back in the past, that's like the counter argument to it is, okay, so back in Victorian era, you would be buying a particular type of tea. So for instance, the fact that rich people put their milk, their tea in first and then their milk, and poor people put their milk in first and then their tea, it's because their shitty crockery would crack if you put hot water in it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And so that's why they did it.
I didn't know that.
But, if rich person's, first off, they had better teacups, so it wouldn't do it as much. But if it did crack, who cares? Because you've got more money.
Right.
And it just tastes better that way. And what they were talking about is that if you look back at classes in the 19th century, being part of the elite class, you would be part of what is known as the leisure class. So a big flex about being part of the rich was that you just sat around playing polo. It's exactly like when we went into Pakistan and they're still playing fucking polo. And they're still laying around on lounges that are designed to recline like you're a Roman aristocrat. They're still doing that shit.
That's cool, dude.
Because that's a flex still in the third world of like, yeah, I don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing.
And they don't have to do shit.
And they don't have to do shit.
Dang.
In the West, though, isn't this interesting? That's not the case. Being part of the leisure class, if you do fuck all with your life, you're on the dole. You're a loser.
True.
That's not seen as cool in the elite. What is seen as cool in the elite is having a brain job where you're doing way more work than you have ever done in any period of human history. You're like wired to your phone constantly. This is the elite class now.
Right.
So they are always working. They're always working in the brain sector. And so what has become the new elite is attitudes and education. That is what separates you from that to the elite class. And as a result, if you walk into a job and you've got like a Western suburbs accent, you're like, yeah, I just really want to work in HR, cuz. They'll be like, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
And then you walk out. And it's because you don't have that same attitude. You don't have that same shared beliefs
But it's always
that
been
the rest of them
education.
have. Huh?
It's always been education.
Not necessarily. Education was a byproduct of having money, and so you would get educated.
Yeah, like in Pakistan, it isn't. For a very small section of society, education is a status symbol. But for more, it's just money.
Money.
Yeah. Just like having the ability. I think, okay, what do you think about this? I think part of it has to do with industrial versus agricultural society. If you were from an agricultural society, which I guess in Victorian era, most of them were, leisure time means that you've outsourced your labor. Like you have the ability to hire people that work on your fields. You're probably like the owner of the fields. But when you don't have agriculture as like your means of income or just land, you have to have like a very specialized brainy type job. So I think like it just depends on whether your society is more industrial or not.
Post-industrial. We are in post-industrial societies. We are part of that service-based economy. It's exactly what Missov's talking about. It all goes back to that Bill Clinton era where everything was outsourced. And so the people that do have those jobs, what that hillbilly guy was talking about before, where all of the rural areas are poor as shit.
Yeah.
And then you go to the cities and it's just reaming with money.
It's the same here.
Huh?
It's the same thing here.
It's a little more benign here.
Sure, yeah.
You know, like being rural
But it's
Australian
similar.
is
It's
not as
similar.
poor as...
Yeah, I think being a rural American would be infinitely worse than being
Fair enough. But I don't
Bro,
know.
they don't have a social net there. Like you are straight up living your conditions are third world.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So now, what makes you part of the elite class is sort of your views on diet, going to the gym. If you go to the centre of Sydney, what is it? It's filled with a bunch of people in their
Gym gear.
Lululemons, walking into the gym in their lunch break because this is another thing that's like hugely seen as part of the elite class, just being a very productive person and multitasking and flex time and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It's
like
all
these
about-
CEOs that supposedly do 12, 13 hours a day, get up at 4 a.m. for an 8-mile walk.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
It's insane to like think about like, dude, if I have a 15-hour day, I'm like, I'm going to skip that walk.
Oh, yeah. Even if I don't.
But not these guys.
Not these guys.
They're productive.
They're productive. And so it's about diet, gym, sets of beliefs around, this is another thing that's really interesting. Breastfeeding. Breastfeeding was a very POV thing. Then it came out all the research, actually this is very vogue and you should be doing this. And then this all of a sudden became this big media thing. You'll see it crop up every few years or so. Oh my God, Koshy said that you shouldn't slip and nip out on public transport. Where am I supposed to feed my baby? Why is that coming to the forefront? It's because there is a bunch of women with a bunch of money that are sitting around and this is a big issue to them. And so they can make this a big media campaign. And back
Having
in the
said
day,
that, there's a lot of benefits for breastfeeding, and it should be.
massive. But if you're a poor chick, say in America, for instance, where they subsidize powdered milk and they subsidize baby formula, so it's free and you can just get baby formula for free, man, you don't have time to slip your nip out. And if you do slip your nip out and you live in inner city Chicago, your chances of getting raped just like massively increase.
Oh my
So
God.
they don't do that shit.
Right.
Having
Poor
said that,
people feed their babies formula now.
Right.
that's so because it has massive impacts on life chances of the kid.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because
Hugely.
for the first 2 years or something, look, I'm not a woman and I'm sorry, but like,
Sorry. It's getting it all out of the way. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I apologize. But it does have like
Shut it first, Ed.
like the mother's milk
About to
is
go Arch Barker on us.
the mom's milk is catered towards but nature caters it for that child. So it includes immunity that the child would need to develop later on in life. It has a lot of advantages like that. It is the
Massive.
perfect food for that child.
It's designed for it.
Yeah, it's designed for your
Literally
child.
designed for it. For your baby specifically.
For your
as well,
baby
because it came out of your
specifically,
body.
yeah.
So there's it's obviously a way better thing to do. But in certain economic circumstances, it is not the better thing to do.
Yeah.
The better thing to do is to get the baby formula. It is
It's true with the diet thing too. Like, there's elite stuff. Like, if you think of like rich people now, they're like the whole thing is like no seed oils, animal fats, like natural fats. You know, yogurt, probiotics, sauerkraut, like kombucha.
Constant thing back in the day, we always say it. You see all the kings of England, and they're all fat cunts.
Yeah.
And it was because that was a flex back in the day.
Yeah.
Now a flex is being 50 and having a six pack.
Yeah.
That's the flex today.
Yeah.
Born in the wrong era.
You and me both, my friend. Yeah.
Dude, apparently back in the day, having a small cock was also a status
Roman
symbol.
times. It was like seen as arrogant or something. To have
Again, boys, we were born in the wrong time.
What life would... But let's be real. If we were born in that time, we'd be starving and we would not be fat and we would have massive cocks.
Yeah.
We'd just be sitting there like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Give me some
Starving and a huge dick.
Yeah.
Literally with our dicks in our hands.
About to go fight a beast.
Hell yeah.
And so now that we live in this time, what really indicates where you are in society is pretty much just based off of attitudes. And I think that you can see this,
I think that's
say with
true.
things like the yes vote, say with things like your views on basically every cultural issue. The reason that cultural issues have risen to the top and have such prominence now, all these culture wars, is because this is the elite class deciding these things amongst themselves of what is fashionable and what is a position of status. So, for instance, when it comes to the yes vote, for instance, you might think that your yes vote was tied to ethical issues and things. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. But I'm saying that if you were in one of those power nodes of the country, like if you worked in the CBD, if you live in the CBD, if you live in one of these areas, it's kind of like an arts capital, a capital, one of those places, and you voted no, can you imagine the backlash that you would get? That would immediately downgrade your prospects for employment in the elite field. That would immediately downgrade your social currency. All of these things, right? And so when you go out to the no area, what you're really seeing, I think, is sort of because they always tie it. It was exactly the same with the monarchy and the republic. How did the monarchy get through in the end? You guys, you weren't here, Ali, but I remember it. The constant campaign. And look, I am very pro-monarchy, as everyone knows. I was so happy that Tony Abbott held up the mantle. But the way that he won was by sitting there and saying, oh, look at all these elites. They think they're so much better than you. He turned that argument into just give the elites a finger. Give them a big finger.
Wait, you're saying that the argument was this is an elite thing and the common person wants an elite family.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But you know what?
Checks out.
Traditionally, this is the other thing, Ali. You don't get this because you're from one of those filthy defector countries. But...
Hey, we're part of the Commonwealth. I guess.
Are you?
Well, we used to be.
Yeah.
We're part
when
of the
you were part of the empire.
Well, and we're part of the Commonwealth Games.
Are you?
Yeah, well, that we are.
There must be
Yeah,
like
welcome back to the fold. Hell yeah.
Must
They
have
don't
just
fucking
slipped
leave.
through.
Huh?
That's like an editing mistake that slipped through.
Yeah.
Like an administration mistake. They're like,
Yeah.
please.
And who we have next is Pakistan.
Hey, I think it was in the 70s that they officially got out of it.
Damn.
The Commonwealth?
Yeah.
How are they still in the Commonwealth Games? Get out. One or the other.
I think doesn't matter.
It does.
Don't kick
does
them
matter.
out.
That's all they got, dude. Let them have it.
Yeah, dude. And we lose that too. It's not like we're winning.
But that's another thing, right? The elite don't like the monarchy. Commoners like the monarchy.
Yeah.
Now, I was telling Mislav about this, but there is an unspoken bond between commoners and the king. Because back in the day, lords
You'd have to
and
have sex
industrial
with the king.
titles. Hell yeah. And man, if you were part of the commoner, you'd want to fuck the king.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Definitely. But they have an unspoken bond between each other because the king was always seen as the protectorate of the commoners, while your aristocrats, that was the person that you actually paid your taxes to. That was the person that would stick the boot in you if you weren't making enough crops. And then it moved to industrialists, and they were the ones that were giving you a hard time and whipping you in the factories. And then the king is what? He's just giving out a bunch of charities, and he's the one actually giving your boss a hard time and just sticking it to them. So you liked the king, and the king liked them. And that's to this day when you walk around in England and King Charles walks out of Buckingham Palace, and there'll be some little shitty Oxford University student with his green dyed hair being like, boo the king. We're like, get a job. But then he walks out to, I don't know, Newcastle. And there'd be all these people, I got you some flowers, your majesty. That's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there, that unspoken bond.
It's so
So that kind of carries on from that. But the way that you highlight that is that you're always saying that this is an elite thing. Wanting a republic is an elite thing. And if you think about it, why would the elite class want a republic? The elite class would want a republic because it's one of them that could end up being the president. It's another managerial job for them. What we are talking about now, and this is a very interesting point in human history, and it's been happening since the 90s, and I can't believe that we saw it. We didn't see it. Yes, you can argue that capitalists run the world and these rich tycoons run it. But if we're being more accurate about it, really, who are the elites? Who is running the world now? The world has moved from a transition of huge booms, and concentration of capital obviously still happens, but generally the world is managed. We are in a managerial age.
Pakistan, isn't it? You're running the world.
No, there's no management there.
That's why, again, it's just,
I know, I'm kidding.
it's not happening.
Yeah, there's no
It's
management.
not happening.
It's
You're
not
right,
happening.
though. It's management. It's like a management.
There is a managerial class that runs the world. This is sort of what was happening during the French Revolution, for instance, when Napoleon came in, and then he just expanded the bureaucracy greatly.
Right.
Being part of that elite class is sort of getting tethered to this sort of state that doles out these high-paying jobs. This is your new benefactor. Back in the day, it would be the emperor or something that would be doling out all of these jobs. Now it is sort of this managerial state. And so you have to adopt the same attitudes as this managerial state. You have to have the same education. You have to have the same priorities to fit into this managerial state. And the reason that you want to have those is so that managerial state can continue to function. So it needs to have these attitudes. It needs to have these
That's very interesting.
educational
That is an interesting
standards.
point of view.
Isn't it
Yeah,
interesting?
It is.
And so it kind of just
Managerial
becomes this
class.
self-governing facet. So, for instance, when it comes to the misinformation bill, obviously everyone outside of Canberra thinks it's terrible. You go into Canberra and you talk about the misinformation bill, everyone thinks it's the greatest idea of
What
all
is that
time.
one?
Dude, it's kind of
basically managing speech on the internet. It's nowhere near as aggressive and like this is the end of free speech as they're
Right.
pretending it is. Again, they didn't pretend like it was under the Liberals when they were doing something way more cycle, which was the anti-cyberbullying laws, which is essentially just turning you saying something mean into an act of terrorism. This is pretty much just someone
Jesus.
them going to Facebook and enforcing it and saying delete this comment.
Right,
Right. But the thing is that people in Canberra think that that is a genius idea
Right.
because they like things being managed.
Sure.
I'll give you
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
example. I
That
was
makes
watching
sense.
a podcast.
And then, sorry, hang on. The yes vote, really, what was it about? Expanding bureaucracy. How did they argue against it? We hate bureaucracy.
Yes, right.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
Just on that point, because sometimes I was watching a podcast between two CIA guys. one of the CIA guys, remember when we listened to this guy who talked about how he caught all these Al-Qaeda? So there's one CIA guy who was a whistleblower, kind of like David McBride. He went to jail for it and stuff. And then the other guy on the podcast was a ex-CIA operative who never released any documents. He was like a straight edge guy. And they were having a discussion. The whistleblower said that I made this decision because the laws did not allow it, and the laws are for the people, and the people didn't know about this, so I felt justified in releasing this info. The other CIA guy says something that's chilling. He's like, who told you that this country is for the people? He's saying this, and he's like, what do you mean? If it's not for the people, who is it for? The CIA guy says, it is for he literally said, the management class to be running the idea of America. And he gives the example. He says, if tomorrow all of America is destroyed and the president's in air, the country goes on.
Damn.
As long as there are people in the bureaucracy that keep it going, that's the country. So he was saying that you were wrong to release it because this country isn't for the people.
It's
this
for the
country
Republic.
is for the Republic.
But are you saying that's a bad thing?
No, I just think it's a very interesting thing, and it's an amazing phenomenon.
It's a bad thing, dude. Come on.
I think it's a
a
bad
horrible thing.
Why is it a horrible thing?
Because the country is for the people. It's not for a managerial class. At the end of the day, the decision should
This is what that other guy was arguing. So you've been told.
I know.
So you've been told.
I understand that maybe in practice that's not the case, but that's what it should be. If you ask people, the Democratic vote, they'll all say this. Like, just because you have the power and you are practicing something doesn't mean you can dictate to us how it will work.
I understand that. But
We will always tell you, F off, and if you don't, we'll try to get you fired. That's the only thing we can do, dude, at the end of the day. Like, they should know.
Which, again, is the real appeal of Trump at the end of the day. The real appeal of Trump is, and this is exactly what Ali is picking up on, and I think that, honestly, the two callers that we had really interesting insights into this. And it was sick because both of them actually were, they're not durs. They both got it, But at the end of the day, what Ali is pointing out, and we were just looking at Josh Shapiro as vice president, or the
Governor of
Pennsylvania.
Right.
Governor of Pennsylvania on Jon Stewart. And both of us looked at each other and we said, you know what America hates at the moment now? People that have the right answer for everything.
Really?
What they hate is people that aced their tests at school.
Really? Okay.
We both looked at him and we thought, shut up. Like, this guy's a teacher's pet. He's a nerd. And you can see that he has all these practice prepared answers, and all of them have the same thing. They all have. I've heard that story before of them saying, and then my wife said to me, if only the American people could see you at the moment. I've heard that so many times. They all have their little phrases that they say, and these are all cultural indicators to the managerial class that I am part of the managerial class. But these are also, and they're so trained into it that they can't see out of it. These are all indicators to the rest of America that they are part of the managerial class.
Kamala might be one too.
That's Kamala. Kamala is that, and that is a big disadvantage in this day and age, as Ali is saying.
Because
and again, Tim Waltz does not have that for whatever reason.
No.
He has that I'm an everyday American feel to him. Yes,
he actually is.
Because he looks kind of lame, and people like that.
It's not even just he looks kind of lame. It's honestly the way he talks. It's the attitude that he has.
And I think like Jordan is right about like people like modern day people don't like someone that aces their test. Like, what's the appeal behind Donald Trump? That he's flawed. He's someone like me.
Yeah.
You see, and
again, like they
even
always
someone
say,
like Bernie Sanders on the other hand. Usually, someone like Bernie Sanders says something, is like, "Oops, wrong answer." Off to obscurity, and people go like, no, bring that guy. I want that guy now.
Yeah.
Because you're pushing them into
they
obscurity.
both had that in common.
Yeah, that they're traditionally considered flawed politicians.
Exactly.
Someone that they wouldn't have ever been close to the power that they are now without social media.
No way.
Yeah.
And this is something that I think you hear all the time on CNN, MSNBC. They can't wrap their head around it, that people are always saying, oh, Trump is just like us. What are you talking about? He's a billionaire. he's worth so much money. This is again what I'm talking about with money is not an indicator of class. It's not an indicator of class.
Right.
It is your attitude. It is your set of beliefs.
You're right.
And they don't understand
That's
it because
true.
they are indoctrinated into that set of beliefs, and the rest of America is indoctrinated into whatever like little cultural bubbles they have or whatever. But they all notice immediately that those are the managers. They're the managers.
Yeah, which
We
is
don't
why
like the
Trump can
managers.
be a billionaire, but be considered a common man by the people.
At the same time.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Hey, it's very, very true. It's like,
So I think that we're like at a very. What I'm saying is, look, it's a pretty good machine to rage against. I think that the managerial class has done a very good job at heralding in the world that we live in now, which you have to admit is the best time in human history to live in, and that is a result of the managerial class existing.
Right.
And like, Ali can say that the countries are for people and all that kind of stuff, and we all theoretically understand that. But show me a point in history where it ever has been.
1920s Paris. It was just to die for. Picasso was roaming around with Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald and everyone. Oh my God, you cannot tell me there was a better time.
Is that true?
I don't know. I'm getting it off Midnight in Paris, that Woody Allen movie.
sounds sick to me. Yeah, sounds nice.
Apparently, it was. 1920s Paris was like an art center. But boys, we're out of time.
Wait, but before we finish, so you think they're good? You think the managerial class is good, and that's good that they run the show?
I would say that, look, you can sit there and say, oh, the elites suck and whatever. Show me a better alternative. What I would say is that these are kind of...
You think these
they're
things
just
naturally
annoying
happen?
libtards. That's the main takeaway that I could take away
So would
from
you
it.
say like someone will naturally rise to the top, right? And you're saying
It will always be a ruling class.
Yeah,
the question
yeah.
is what? So back in the day, what was it based off of in India? It was based off of like
Caste.
being part of a caste.
Yeah,
And what was
yeah.
it based in the UK? It was based off of land ownership or
Right,
something.
right.
This is much more meritocratic than that.
You think so?
Way more meritocratic. This is if you have a brain, if you are functioning your brain in a certain way that is good for keeping the state going, you are part of the elite.
Right.
That's sort of what the elite
It's
class
just
has
that
turned into.
it seems like a not a very industrious job, but maybe that's just not true.
Oh, it's definitely not.
Right.
And you can point to 1,000
I
problems
mean,
with it.
do you remember the thesis of Atlas Shrugged, the book?
No.
I don't.
She makes a point that it might not be considered that important, but it is. The whole idea is like it's an anti-communist book. The communist idea was like,
the
we don't
architect
need
one,
this
right?
elite, right? We can get rid of the workers can unite. And Atlas Shrugged was every manager just withdraws from society and then the society collapses.
Right. So you need.
Really?
You're saying that you. Do
Yeah, that's
need-
like I read a long time ago, but that was around the thesis.
So the
of
point is, they're saying like it might not be industrious or sexy, but it's important.
they're saying it's very important. We
And,
give
like,
value
come on,
to society.
Can we really disagree with this? And the thing is, what you will notice all throughout history,
I guess
he with the greatest bureaucracy wins. That is the key to every empire's expansion. That is the key to every empire's sustainability. That is everything. It's always when the bureaucracy is expanding, it's good. And even, as I've always pointed out with Ali, because we're constantly arguing back and forth about whether the caliphate was good or not. But you always say,
Say sorry.
say sorry in advance.
Sorry.
It goes healing some of the hurt.
It was good if you're Muslim.
No, it wasn't-
it was very bad if you're not.
But these Arabic tribes came in. They had their zealous book of Quran. They created that society based off of that. Okay. But they also realized very quickly, fuck, we don't know how to govern society at all. We're a bunch of camel jockeys. What do we do? And the Persians were just like, let me show you what to do. And the reason that the Persians went into this system is because the bureaucracy just keeps turning on. Like you can have a different head. It doesn't matter. The bureaucracy keeps moving. And I think that this is, let's just say this, if it's a good or a bad thing, it's just inevitably how an organized society runs.
Right.
By
It's like an
managers.
ant hive. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. This is the inevitability of society.
But then there's good. But then there's whether what they do is good or bad for the majority. That the devil's in the details, right? Like there's bad managers and good managers, I would imagine, right?
Yes,
like
but
they just service like who? The politicians, I suppose, or the industry. Is it like, do they have? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is there any? Is there a moral weight on it, or is it just like, oh, it just happens?
it just happens. But I think that this is something else when it comes to, say, climate change, for instance. I have always been a proponent of, I don't think democracy works very well. I don't think that people...
Slow.
It can work, but it very rarely works. And usually the only reason that it ever does work... You know what I see democracy as these days? A safety check. I just see it as if things are getting too bad, people start paying attention to politics and then democracy works. Other than that, like what you had in Queensland, you have a change in management. It moves from one to the next. And that's not great, but really the alternative is pretty scary. I mean, look, okay, one thing that you could say about Chilean death squads is that they're not libtards. They were pretty based. You know? A Chilean death squad is cool.
I don't know what that is.
You know, like when Pinochet came in, it was just like, get rid of the libtards.
Oh, right. Yes.
You know, it's like a cool idea, but really, a lot of the time, that is the alternative.
Really? Yeah.
That is the alternative to these institutions just kind of inevitably marching on. And this is also just something that happens when a society is taxed. When a society is taxed, this thing just keeps getting bigger and more powerful. And a lot of the time, you know, there'll be billionaires that say, I've got this crazy idea. And then they realize it doesn't work. And they go, fuck, what do I do? And then the managers go,
bail them out.
And then they just end up fixing it. And this is just the way of the world.
So do you think Trump, even though he appears to be anti-establishment and anti-managerial and everything, it's just not true because he's still part of that system. He still goes in, puts his own people in place.
Well, we all are.
Yeah,
the thing was, yes, Trump was definitely a spanner in the works. And this is when you listen to a bunch of Republican establishment types, what is their argument every time? He was bad at installing the management team of the Republicans. That's why a lot of them moved away from Trump. They thought, oh, yeah, he can be the head man and we'll just run everything. And then he comes in and he's like, I don't think we need a Secretary of Defense anymore. And they're just like, crap, my job.
But so you're saying he is effective at doing that then?
No, I'm saying he's very ineffective, if you call that effective. But
well, he's cutting the jobs. He's cutting some jobs.
No, he's replacing
them.
He's
not installing. He's for like 2 years. He didn't even have a bunch of senior positions in place. Obviously, think about that. You're in for 4 years. For 2 years, he didn't have his team in place. Well, you know, like Biden just comes in within 6 weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because he's just been in the biz for so long.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he is an effective manager.
If you watch the Joe Rogan podcast, it's a Herculean task. When you become the president, the first thing you have to do is appoint 10,000 people with vetting.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
That is not an easy thing to do.
Exactly.
But you're basically saying it's the best we got because if it is a thing of like, you know, a communist bloody like manifesto.
No communist
society.
slander here.
But that's what the.
Well, communism really turned out to be one of the greatest
that was the biggest bureaucratic
success.
structure you can ever imagine. It replaced the private sector. That's how big the bureaucracy got.
Yeah, actually, that is just bureaucracy, I suppose. Yeah,
it's just bureaucracy. All I'm saying is you can replace the managerial class, and what will happen? Society will collapse.
Or if the society won't collapse, then a new managerial class will form.
Yeah. But the thing is, in this day and age, you cannot compete against the managerial class.
Here's the crazy bit. Here's the craziest bit about this. This managerial class has no ideology, has no religion, has the only want is to serve in those positions. Tell me what to do. I'll do it for you.
No, but this is what I'm saying. They have those cultural indicators like yes voting, like I want to republic.
But all of that I think is
like
changeable.
quotas.
If the culture changes, that'll also change.
But that's what I'm saying. They do have these indicators. That's what you should look out for. This is a very interesting way of looking at the culture war. These are little signifiers of saying I'm on the in crowd or I'm on the out. Basically, like in 1984, I'm on the inner party or I'm on the outer party.
Right.
Which is really what 1984 was really talking about as well, which is just that the elite has been replaced with this bureaucracy.
Right.
All right, boys, we're out of time. But this has been a splendid discussion. Better read than dead. Agreed with that. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will see you next week. Next week, we'll do the Tuesday podcast as normal. And then on Wednesday, we'll do a live U.S. election stream. So make sure you catch us for that.
You going to put bets on or what?
I'm not.
Yeah, no bets.
I'm
no
never
bets.
doing it.
Wimps.
But
You're
yeah,
doing it?
Yeah, why not?
You're king.
awesome. We'll see you guys later.